take responsibility for your own life. Taking responsibility for your own life is one of the most empowering choices you can make. It's not about blaming yourself for everything that's gone wrong, but about owning your choices and actions, regardless of the circumstances. Life will throw challenges your way, but how you respond, how you take control is where your power lies. When you start taking responsibility, you stop waiting for someone else to fix things for you. You stop pointing fingers, blaming others, or hoping that something will magically change. At its core, responsibility means acknowledging that you have the ability to shape your future, regardless of the past. It's about understanding that you are the one who decides how to react, how to move forward, and how to take charge of your destiny. This means taking ownership of your mistakes, learning from them, and not letting them define who you are. It also means celebrating your wins, knowing they are the result of your efforts. The most painful part of life is realizing that you have been playing the victim for far too long. You've allowed fear, doubt, or external circumstances to dictate your choices. But once you take that step to own your life, everything shifts. You are no longer a passenger, you're the driver. Life becomes less about waiting for things to happen and more about creating the future you desire. Taking responsibility doesn't mean it's always easy or fair, but it's always worth it. Your life, your choices, your power. Don't compare your journey to others. Comparing your journey to others is one of the quickest ways to diminish your sense of self-worth. In a world where everyone's life is on display, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring your progress against someone else's highlight reel. What you may not see, however, are the struggles, setbacks, and unseen battles that others have faced. Their journey is theirs, and yours is uniquely yours. When you compare your path to someone else's, you lose sight of your own growth. You become fixated on where you think you should be, rather than celebrating how far you've come. The truth is, your journey is not meant to look like anyone else's. No one has walked in your shoes, and no one can truly understand the inner workings of your heart and mind. The only competition you should be concerned with is the version of yourself you were yesterday. Comparing can lead to feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, and self-doubt. It builds walls between you and your potential. Instead of looking outward, focus inward. Look at what you've learned, how you've changed, and where you're headed. Growth isn't a race, and it doesn't follow a fixed timeline. The beauty of life lies in the individual paths we carve for ourselves. Your pace is yours to set. Embrace it. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday, not the person next to you. Trust the process, even when it's tough. There will be moments in life when the road ahead feels uncertain, when every step forward seems to bring 2 steps back. These are the times when trusting the process feels the hardest, yet it's precisely when you need it most. The process is the unseen force guiding you through the difficult moments, teaching you lessons that may not be clear at first, but will reveal their worth in time. It's easy to want immediate results, to crave instant gratification, but real growth happens in the quiet, sometimes painful progress that isn't always visible. Trusting the process is about faith. Faith in yourself, in your effort, and in the idea that every struggle is part of your larger journey. When you push through the tough times, you are building resilience, strengthening your character, and preparing yourself for what's ahead. The hardest days often turn out to be the most defining ones. They shape your abilities, your mindset, and your future in ways you can't always see in the moment. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't unfold as quickly or smoothly as you'd hoped, but remember, progress is rarely linear. Sometimes you need to take a few steps back to leap forward. Trusting the process doesn't mean waiting passively. It means continuing to show up, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Stay committed, keep going, and know that every hardship is part of the bigger picture. The toughest times often lead to the most rewarding outcomes. Learn from your failures. Failure is often viewed as something to avoid, something to be ashamed of. But in truth, failure is one of life's greatest teachers. Each time you fail, you are gifted an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to evolve. Failure doesn't define you, it refines you. The pain of failure can be sharp and disheartening, but it's in those moments of disappointment that you truly begin to understand who you are, what you're capable of, and how much stronger you can become. When you fail, you are faced with a choice: to wallow in defeat or to use the experience as fuel to improve. The most successful people in life are not those who avoid failure, but those who embrace it, reflect on it, and learn from it. Every misstep, every mistake holds valuable lessons if you're willing to look for them. Failure shows you where your weaknesses lie, but more importantly, it pushes you to develop new strengths. The fear of failure often holds people back, but it's important to remember that each failure brings you one step closer to success. Failure forces you to re-examine your methods, refine your approach, and sometimes even change your perspective. It teaches you resilience, patience, and perseverance, qualities that success alone cannot offer. So when you fail, don't run from it. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it as a stepping stone on your path to becoming your best self. Always be honest with yourself. Honesty with yourself is the foundation of true growth and personal freedom. It's easy to lie to others, but the most dangerous lies are the ones we tell ourselves. When you're not truthful with yourself, you distort your reality, suppress your true feelings, and live in a constant state of denial. This might feel comfortable in the short term, but over time, it chips away at your confidence, your clarity, and your peace of mind. Being honest with yourself requires a willingness to face uncomfortable truths. It means acknowledging your flaws, your mistakes, and your deepest fears, rather than hiding from them. This level of self-awareness is often painful, but it is the only way to break free from self-deception. When you're honest with yourself, you give yourself permission to grow. You stop making excuses and start taking responsibility for the choices that shape your life. The process of self-honesty is not about judgment, but about understanding. It's about accepting where you are without shame and then deciding where you want to go. It's about understanding your desires, your boundaries, and your limitations so you can make choices that align with your true self. Without this honesty, you will always be chasing the wrong goals, surrounded by people who don't serve you, and living a life that feels disconnected from who you really are. Honesty with yourself is the ultimate act of self-respect. It clears the fog of uncertainty and sets you on a path to living authentically, powerfully, and with intention. Prioritize your health, mental, physical, and emotional. Your health is the foundation of everything you do. Without it, nothing else truly matters. Yet, so many people place their health on the back burner, believing that career, relationships, or success are more urgent. The truth is, without a balanced, well-cared-for mind and body, you will struggle to perform at your best in any area of life. Prioritizing your health is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Physical health is often the first thing we think of, but it's only one part of the equation. Your mind and emotions need just as much attention. Mental health involves the ability to handle stress, process your thoughts, and maintain a positive outlook despite life's challenges. Emotional health is about understanding, expressing, and managing your feelings in a healthy way. Neglecting any of these aspects will inevitably affect the others, causing a cycle of imbalance that can leave you feeling depleted. When you prioritize your health, you begin to realize just how interconnected it all is. You can't nourish your body properly if your mind is consumed by negativity or stress. You can't heal emotionally if you're physically run down. Each aspect of your health feeds into the others, creating a system of care that makes you stronger, more resilient, and capable of handling whatever life throws your way. It's easy to push your health aside in favor of external achievements, but true success starts within. Take time for yourself, whether it's through exercise, mindfulness, or simply taking a mental break. Your health is your greatest asset. Without it, nothing else is possible. Time is the one thing you can never get back. Time is the silent currency of life, an invisible force that dictates everything, yet is often taken for granted. Every moment that passes is one you will never retrieve, never revisit. The harsh truth is that once time slips away, it is gone forever. You can make money, find new opportunities, and rebuild relationships, but you cannot get back a second of the past. This reality is unsettling because we often waste time on things that don't truly matter. Endless scrolling, worrying about things out of our control, or putting off our dreams for another day. The weight of time only becomes truly clear when we find ourselves looking back, regretting the time we didn't spend on what truly mattered. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to lose sight of the precious moments slipping through our fingers. But the truth is, the most valuable thing you can invest in is your time. It's not just about how many hours you have, but how you choose to use them. The quality of your time shapes the quality of your life. Think of time as the ultimate non-renewable resource. Once you begin to realize its true value, you will start to prioritize differently. You'll stop wasting time on things that drain you and instead invest it in what brings joy, fulfillment, and growth. When you grasp this truth, you will treat every moment with the respect it deserves and live with a deeper sense of urgency and purpose. Don't put off what you can do today. Procrastination is a silent thief of time, stealing moments that could have been used to create, grow, and achieve. Every time you delay an action, whether it's small or significant, you rob yourself of the opportunity to move forward. The truth is, tomorrow is never guaranteed. The longer you put things off, the more distance you create between yourself and your goals. It's easy to convince yourself that you'll start tomorrow or next week. But the reality is that tomorrow often never comes, and the habit of delay becomes harder to break the longer you wait. The act of doing something today, even if it's a small step, builds momentum. It creates a ripple effect that makes future tasks feel more achievable. Every little accomplishment, no matter how insignificant it seems, adds up over time, shaping your success. The more you take action today, the more control you gain over your life. Delaying doesn't just affect your to-do list, it impacts your mindset. It builds anxiety, fosters regret, and drains your energy. When you take immediate action, you reclaim your time and your life. You stop waiting for the perfect moment, and instead, you create progress now. The key to success isn't found in endless planning or wishful thinking, but in the courage to act today. Don't let the habit of putting things off dictate your future. Start now and watch how the world opens up before you. Invest in experiences, not just things. In a world filled with material desires and fleeting possessions, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that happiness is just one purchase away. But the truth is, things are temporary. They fade, break, or lose their value over time. Experiences, on the other hand, leave an indelible mark on your soul. They shape who you are, expand your perspective, and connect you to the world in ways that possessions never can. When you invest in experiences, whether it's traveling to a new place, attending a concert, or even having a deep conversation with a loved one, you are creating memories that will last a lifetime. These experiences become part of your personal story, offering rich moments of growth, joy, and reflection. They bring people closer together and help you build deeper, more meaningful relationships. Unlike objects, experiences cannot be taken away from you, and they only grow in value over time as they become a cherished part of your identity. Material things might give you short-term pleasure, but they rarely provide lasting fulfillment. They come and go, but the lessons you learn, the emotions you feel, and the stories you create through experiences become the fabric of your life. When you look back, it's not the things you've accumulated that you'll remember. It's the adventures you took, the risks you embraced, and the moments that truly touch your heart. So choose to invest in what feeds your soul, because experiences are the true treasures of life. Never stop learning. Learning is not just an activity, it's a way of life. The moment you stop seeking knowledge, you stop growing. The world around you is constantly changing, and in order to thrive, you must evolve alongside it. Whether through formal education, self-study, or simply engaging with different perspectives, learning keeps your mind sharp, your skills relevant, and your life rich with possibilities. The beauty of learning is that it doesn't have to happen in a classroom. It happens in every conversation, in every experience, and in every challenge you face. Every failure offers a lesson, every person you meet has something to teach, and every book you read opens new doors to understanding. The more you learn, the more you realize how much there is still to discover. It's this never-ending curiosity that fuels progress, not just in your career or personal growth, but in the way you see the world. When you stop learning, you become stagnant. Your ability to adapt to new situations diminishes, and you begin to feel disconnected from the world around you. But when you embrace learning as a lifelong pursuit, you remain open, flexible, and ready for whatever comes next. Knowledge is power, but wisdom comes from the application of that knowledge. Never stop learning, because every lesson you acquire adds depth to your life, making it more meaningful, more fulfilling, and more impactful. The journey of learning is the journey of life itself. Cultivate gratitude in all situations. Gratitude is a quiet power that can transform even the darkest of circumstances. It's easy to feel thankful when things are going well, when life is flowing smoothly and the good seems to outweigh the bad. But the true strength of gratitude lies in its ability to shine brightest in difficult times. When everything feels overwhelming, when challenges seem insurmountable, it's easy to forget the power of gratitude. But it's in these moments, when everything seems lost, that cultivating gratitude can be the most healing and transformative force. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It turns your attention away from what's lacking and redirects it to what you have, however small. It's not about ignoring the difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. Rather, it's about recognizing that even in pain, there are lessons, growth, and things to appreciate. Maybe it's the support of loved ones, the ability to learn from hardship, or the simple fact that you're still moving forward despite it all. When you embrace gratitude, you change your relationship with life. It doesn't just improve your mood, it strengthens your resilience. It teaches you to find light in the darkness and hope in despair. By making gratitude a daily practice, you invite peace into your life. You begin to see abundance in the small things: a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a stranger, the beauty of nature. Gratitude doesn't eliminate struggles, but it makes them easier to bear and opens you up to the blessings that are often hidden in plain sight. Be patient with your progress. In a world that thrives on instant results, it's easy to feel like you're falling behind when things don't happen as quickly as you want. But growth is rarely immediate. It's slow, deliberate, and often invisible to the naked eye. When you plant a seed, you don't see the roots growing beneath the surface right away. But over time, with care and patience, that seed will blossom. The same is true for your progress. Patience isn't about waiting passively. It's about trusting that your efforts are working, even when you can't see the results yet. Every small step forward, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is a part of your larger transformation. If you expect instant success, you will only disappoint yourself. True progress takes time, persistence, and a willingness to embrace the process, no matter how long it takes. The hardest part about patience is staying committed during the moments when you feel stuck or discouraged. When you don't see immediate change, it's easy to question if you're on the right path. But it's often in those moments of uncertainty that the most important lessons are learned. The key is to keep going, trusting that your work is building a foundation for something greater. Be kind to yourself and remember, growth is a journey, not a race. Celebrate every small victory along the way and trust that with time, the progress you seek will come. You can't change the past, but you can shape the future. It's easy to get stuck in the past, reliving mistakes, wishing you had done things differently, or blaming yourself for what's already happened. But the harsh reality is that you can't undo what's been done. The past is a chapter that's already written, and no amount of regret can rewrite it. However, what you do today, right now, is where your true power lies. The future is still unwritten, and it is in your hands to shape it. The key to moving forward is accepting that the past does not define you. Yes, it has shaped who you are, but it does not control who you will become. Every moment is a chance for a fresh start, a new choice. If you let the past hold you captive, it will rob you of your potential. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, focus on how you can use that experience to build a better future. Learn from your mistakes, but don't let them imprison you. The future is a canvas, and your actions, mindset, and decisions are the paint. You can choose to be the person who learns, adapts, and grows from the past, or you can be the person who stays stuck in what could have been. The most powerful thing you can do is to let go of the past and commit to shaping the future you want. The road ahead is full of possibilities, and it's up to you to walk it with intention, purpose, and belief. Surround yourself with people who lift you up. The people you choose to surround yourself with have an undeniable impact on your life. They influence how you think, how you feel, and ultimately, how you see the world. When you surround yourself with individuals who lift you up, who encourage your growth, and who inspire you to be the best version of yourself, you begin to rise to new heights you never thought possible. These people act as mirrors, reflecting your potential and challenging you to expand beyond your limits. On the other hand, when you spend time with those who are negative, draining, or dismissive of your dreams, their energy seeps into your own. It's easy to underestimate just how powerful this influence can be. Toxic relationships can subtly chip away at your confidence, your motivation, and your self-worth. You may not even realize how much they are holding you back until you step away from them and feel the weight lifted. Surrounding yourself with people who truly lift you up doesn't just mean spending time with those who make you feel good. It means connecting with those who help you grow, who challenge your thinking, and who support your ambitions. These relationships empower you to take risks, make bold choices, and push yourself further than you thought you could go. Choose to spend your time with those who believe in your potential, and in return, you will find yourself believing in it too. The right people make all the difference. Sometimes less is more. In a world that constantly encourages excess, the idea of less is more can feel like a radical departure from the norm. We are conditioned to believe that more possessions, more success, more attention, and more experiences equal more happiness. But in reality, the pursuit of more can often lead to burnout, dissatisfaction, and a lack of fulfillment. The truth is, sometimes less truly is more. It's in the simplicity, the focus, the uncluttered moments where you find the most profound joy and peace. When you strip away the unnecessary, you make room for what truly matters. A minimalist approach to life can open up space for deeper connections, clearer thinking, and a more intentional way of living. The pressure to accumulate wealth, achievements, or social validation often clouds what's most important: relationships, well-being, and personal growth. By focusing on less, you actually gain more time, more clarity, and more purpose. This doesn't mean abandoning your ambitions or shying away from life's blessings. It's about learning to say no to things that drain your energy and yes to the things that nourish your soul. Whether it's decluttering your environment, simplifying your schedule, or cutting out toxic influences, less can help you rediscover the beauty of what's truly important. Less noise, less clutter, less stress, more peace, more focus, more joy. In embracing less, you create the space for more of the right things to enter your life. Take risks, but calculate them. Risk is an essential part of growth, but it's not about throwing yourself into the unknown without thought. Taking risks without consideration is like gambling with your future, while taking calculated risks is about making bold decisions based on knowledge, preparation, and foresight. The balance lies in assessing potential outcomes and weighing them against the rewards. This allows you to step out of your comfort zone while minimizing unnecessary losses. Every successful person has faced moments of uncertainty, but they didn't make those decisions on impulse. They analyzed the situation, understood the stakes, and proceeded with a plan in place. Taking risks is about challenging the status quo, breaking free from your limitations, and opening doors that you otherwise wouldn't have. However, there is no courage in rushing blindly into something. True courage is in knowing the risks, preparing for the challenges, and having the confidence to face them head on. Calculated risks require self-awareness. You need to assess your strengths and weaknesses, understand the potential rewards, and recognize when the risk is worth taking. This approach gives you the freedom to move forward with confidence rather than fear. You may not always succeed, but when you take risks intelligently, you maximize your chances of learning, growing, and reaching your goals. In life, staying in your comfort zone can lead to stagnation, but by taking smart risks, you open yourself up to the vast opportunities life has to offer. The key is knowing when to leap and when to wait for the right moment. Your mind is your greatest asset. Protect it. Your mind is the lens through which you experience the world, and everything you think, feel, and do is shaped by it. It holds the power to create your reality, determine your success, and navigate the challenges that life throws at you. Yet, too often, we neglect to protect it, allowing toxic influences, negative thoughts, and outside pressures to cloud its brilliance. Just like you would protect a precious object, your mind deserves the same level of care and attention. The way you think directly influences how you see the world and how you approach life's obstacles. If you fill your mind with self-doubt, fear, and negativity, you'll find it much harder to move forward. But if you nurture it with positivity, curiosity, and self-belief, you'll unlock untapped potential. The mind is incredibly powerful. It can elevate you or hold you back, depending on how you treat it. Protecting your mind means being selective about what you expose yourself to. This includes the people you surround yourself with, the information you consume, and the internal narratives you allow to play in your head. Not everything is worthy of your mental energy. By guarding against negativity, stress, and harmful influences, you create space for clarity, creativity, and growth. Remember, your thoughts shape your world, so protect them fiercely. Keep your mind strong, clear, and focused. It's the key to your success, happiness, and fulfillment. Trust your gut, but don't ignore logic. Your intuition is a powerful guide. It's the quiet, inner voice that speaks to you when you're faced with a decision. It can feel like a flash of insight, an inner knowing that doesn't always come from reasoning or analysis. In many ways, it's a reflection of your accumulated experiences, your subconscious mind processing information too quickly for your conscious awareness. Trusting your gut is important because it often guides you to choices that align with your values, your true self, and your deeper instincts. But here's the catch. While your gut instinct is valuable, it should never stand alone. Logic must accompany it. Your intellect, based on facts, experience, and critical thinking, is there to provide the structure and clarity needed to make informed choices. Blindly following intuition without considering logic can lead you down a path of impulsive decisions, while relying solely on logic can cause you to miss opportunities that feel right on a deeper level. The magic happens when you balance both. Trust your gut, but also take a moment to assess the situation logically, analyze the facts, weigh the pros and cons, and consider the long-term consequences. The best decisions come when your intuition and logic are in harmony. Your gut can point you in the right direction, but logic ensures that the path you're following is solid and sustainable. Together, they create a powerful decision-making force that keeps you grounded yet open to new possibilities. Choose happiness over being right. In moments of conflict, the desire to be right can be overwhelming. We often find ourselves clinging to our point of view, defending our position, and proving that we are correct. But what's the cost of this pursuit? Too often, it comes at the expense of peace, connection, and ultimately, happiness. Being right might give you temporary satisfaction, but the long-term cost can be damage, relationships, lingering tension, and a sense of isolation. Choosing happiness over being right is about shifting your focus from winning an argument to fostering understanding, empathy, and harmony. When you choose to prioritize happiness, you step away from the need to prove yourself. You begin to realize that not every disagreement needs to be a battle, and not every opinion needs to be a hill to die on. In fact, many times, it's the willingness to let go of the need to be right that leads to deeper understanding and stronger relationships. Happiness isn't found in being correct, but in letting go of pride and embracing peace. This doesn't mean you should always suppress your views or stay silent when something matters to you. It means that in moments of disagreement, it's okay to let the need to win go in favor of preserving the connection. Happiness comes from love, understanding, and the ability to walk away from needless conflict. So, next time you feel that urge to prove you're right, ask yourself, is this really worth sacrificing my peace for? Actions speak louder than words. Words are easy. Anyone can say anything, but it's your actions that reveal who you truly are. The promises you make, the declarations you shout into the world, none of them hold weight if they aren't backed up by what you do. Actions are the evidence of your intentions. They tell a deeper story, one that goes beyond empty rhetoric. The truth is, people will remember what you did far longer than what you said. Words may attract attention, but actions build trust, credibility, and respect. The power of actions lies in their ability to convey sincerity. When you say you'll do something but don't follow through, it erodes your integrity. But when you consistently act in alignment with your words, people begin to see you as someone dependable, someone they can count on. Your actions don't need to be grandiose or showy. Even the smallest, most consistent behaviors reveal your character over time. They show your commitment, your values, and your true motivations. In relationships, in business, in life, people notice actions more than promises. If you want to inspire, to lead, or to make a lasting impact, let your actions do the talking. When you show up, when you put in the work, when you follow through without needing validation, that's when your words are no longer just empty sound. They become meaningful. And it's those actions that will leave the mark long after the words have faded away. The people you spend time with shape your life. The people in your life have an undeniable impact on who you become. Whether you realize it or not, the energy, mindset, and behavior of those around you deeply influence your thoughts, choices, and ultimately your path. Like a mirror, those you surround yourself with reflect who you are and who you aspire to be. If you spend time with individuals who uplift you, challenge you, and inspire you, you're more likely to grow, evolve, and push yourself beyond limits you thought were unreachable. But if your circle consists of negativity, complacency, or pessimism, those traits can seep into your own outlook, keeping you stuck or preventing you from reaching your full potential. People have the power to either bring out the best or the worst in you. Think about the moments where you've been encouraged to dream bigger, or the times you've been dissuaded from taking risks by those who doubted your potential. You might not always see it in the moment, but the influence of your inner circle can either fuel your passions or snuff them out. Relationships are more than just emotional bonds. They are catalysts for your personal growth or your downfall. It's essential to be intentional about the company you keep. Seek out people who inspire, challenge, and support your aspirations. Remove yourself from relationships that drain your energy, limit your vision, or hold you back from being the best version of yourself. The quality of your life often depends on the quality of those you surround yourself with. Choose wisely, for their influence will shape the life you create. Don't waste time worrying about things beyond your control. Worrying about things you can't control is like holding on to a weight that only drags you down. It's an exhausting, futile cycle of anxiety and fear that accomplishes nothing but stress. We all face circumstances outside our influence, and while it's natural to feel unsettled by uncertainty, wasting time on it only takes away from the energy you could be putting into what truly matters, what you can change and impact. The truth is, most of the things we worry about never come to pass. Our minds often create worst-case scenarios that rarely unfold in reality. When you focus on what you cannot change, you give away your peace, your focus, and your potential for growth. Instead of being consumed by the unknown, you have the power to choose where to direct your energy. You can channel it into the present, into the actions that move you forward, into making decisions that you can control. Letting go of this worry is liberating. It means accepting that uncertainty is a part of life, and that the best way to face it is with calm, confidence, and clarity. By releasing control over things beyond your reach, you make space for peace, resilience, and progress. Worrying doesn't change outcomes, but taking deliberate action, nurturing your mindset, and focusing on your sphere of influence does. Embrace the power of letting go and watch how your life begins to shift in a more positive direction. Money is a tool, not the goal. In a society that often equates success with wealth, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that money is the ultimate goal. We chase after it, obsess over it, and measure our worth by how much we have. But the truth is, money is simply a tool, nothing more, nothing less. It is a resource that can enable you to live a better life, to pursue your passions, and to support the people you love. But when you start to see money as the goal, you lose sight of the bigger picture, the life you want to create, the values you want to uphold, and the impact you want to have. Money, in its essence, is neutral. It doesn't hold the power to make you truly happy or fulfilled. That power lies in how you use it. When you prioritize money above all else, you risk losing your sense of purpose and passion. It's easy to get caught in the never-ending cycle of more, but the pursuit of wealth without a meaningful direction often leads to emptiness. On the other hand, when you use money as a tool to support your vision, your goals, and your values, it becomes an ally in your journey, not the destination. So stop measuring your success solely by the numbers in your bank account. The true goal is the life you want to live, the experiences you want to have, and the person you want to become. Money can support those things, but it should never define them. Your values are your compass. Don't lose them. In a world full of distractions, temptations, and conflicting opinions, your values serve as the unshakable foundation upon which your decisions are built. They are the internal compass that guides you, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Your values define who you are and who you aspire to be. They reflect what you stand for, what you believe in, and what you will not tolerate. When you lose sight of them, you risk losing yourself in the noise of life. It's easy to be swayed by external pressures, by society's expectations, by what's trending, or by the opinions of others. But when you let your values slip, you lose a part of your integrity. Decisions become harder to make, and the path you're walking may lead to places that don't align with your true self. Your values are the yardstick by which you measure everything that comes into your life. They help you filter out the noise and focus on what truly matters. When you live by your values, you gain clarity. You know when to say yes and when to say no. You know where to invest your energy and where to walk away. The world will always try to pull you in different directions, but your values will keep you grounded, reminding you of who you are and what you stand for. Don't let the world dilute your values. Protect them, honor them, and let them lead you to a life that feels authentic, purposeful, and true. Forgiveness is for you, not them. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as something you do for the person who wronged you. In reality, it's a gift you give to yourself. When you hold on to anger, resentment, or grudges, you are the one who suffers. The person who hurt you may have moved on, but you remain shackled to the pain of their actions. The longer you carry that weight, the more it consumes you, affecting your peace, your relationships, and even your happiness. Forgiveness is not about excusing the other person's behavior or pretending that what they did was acceptable. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of bitterness. When you forgive, you release yourself from the grip of negative emotions that trap you in a cycle of hurt and resentment. You take back your power, allowing yourself to move forward without the heavy baggage of past pain. True forgiveness is liberating. It allows you to heal and make space for new experiences and positive emotions. It's an act of self-compassion, a decision to stop letting someone else's actions dictate your emotional well-being. By forgiving, you reclaim your peace and choose not to let the past continue to define your present. You stop giving power to the person who wronged you and instead take control of your own happiness. Forgiveness is a release that's as much for your own growth as it is for your peace of mind. Never settle for less than you deserve. Settling for less than you deserve is a silent form of self-betrayal. It's choosing comfort over growth, fear over possibility, and the status quo over the extraordinary life you are capable of creating. Whether it's in relationships, career, or personal aspirations, settling is an act of compromise that slowly erodes your sense of worth. It's not about being demanding or unrealistic. It's about recognizing your value and refusing to accept anything that doesn't honor it. Too often, people settle because they fear they won't find something better, or they convince themselves they're lucky to have what they do. But deep down, they know they are worth more, and that dissatisfaction lingers, quietly draining their confidence and happiness. The truth is, you deserve the best: love, respect, opportunities, and growth. Anything less is simply not enough. When you settle, you teach others how to treat you, and you set a ceiling on what you believe you're worthy of. But when you stand firm in your worth, when you hold out for what truly aligns with your values and aspirations, you open yourself up to the life you're meant to live. It's not about waiting for perfection, but about knowing that you are deserving of happiness, respect, and fulfillment, and that you don't have to compromise on your standards. Never settle for less than you deserve, because when you stop accepting mediocrity, you make space for greatness to enter your life. Speak up for yourself. There are times in life when silence feels like the easier option, when you hold back, avoid confrontation, and let others dictate the terms. But the truth is, not speaking up for yourself is a form of self-neglect. When you stay quiet in the face of unfairness, disrespect, or discomfort, you are allowing others to take away your voice, your power, and your worth. Speaking up isn't just about asserting your opinions, it's about claiming your space in the world and standing up for your right to be heard. When you choose to speak up, you are honoring your own needs, boundaries, and desires. It's a declaration that you matter. It's not always easy, and it can feel uncomfortable, especially when you're worried about how others will react. But the more you practice speaking up, the stronger your sense of self becomes. It's about having the courage to say no when necessary, to express your thoughts and feelings, and to demand respect when it's been taken for granted. Speaking up also sets a powerful example for others. It teaches people how to treat you, and it encourages them to speak up for themselves as well. It's an act of self-respect and a reminder that you are worthy of being listened to, understood, and valued. When you choose silence out of fear or avoidance, you allow others to control the narrative of your life. But when you speak up, you take ownership of your story, your choices, and your happiness. Be kind to others, even when it's hard. Kindness is not always easy. There will be times when life has tested you, when people hurt you, or when you're overwhelmed by your own struggles. In those moments, kindness may feel like a luxury you cannot afford, but it is precisely when it's hardest that kindness becomes the most powerful. When you choose kindness, despite your emotions or circumstances, you are showing strength, not weakness. Being kind isn't about being perfect or always having the right words to say. It's about choosing to respond with empathy, even when you want to lash out. It's about recognizing the humanity in others, even when they've wronged you. When you act with kindness, you create ripples of goodness that spread far beyond the immediate moment. You never know what someone is going through, and the smallest gesture of kindness, whether it's a smile, a kind word, or a helping hand, can change their entire day or even their life. It's in these challenging moments that kindness shows your true character. When you act with compassion, even when you're struggling, you don't just lift others, you lift yourself. It helps to heal wounds, build bridges, and foster connection in a world that often feels fractured. Kindness is never wasted, and while it may not always be reciprocated, it always transforms you. So choose kindness, even when it's hard, because in the end, it's what makes life worth living. You are what you repeatedly do, the habits you cultivate, the actions you take daily, and the choices you make over and over again shape who you become. Whether you realize it or not, every single action you perform, every thought you entertain, and every word you speak is building the person you are. Your identity is not defined by the grand moments of your life, but by the seemingly small, mundane actions that occur every day. The truth is, success or failure, growth or stagnation, it's all a product of your daily habits. If you consistently act with intention, discipline, and purpose, those behaviors will form a foundation for your success. But if you let laziness, procrastination, or self-doubt govern your actions, those patterns will dictate your future as well. It's not about what you hope to do someday. It's about what you choose to do today, again and again. The person you are becoming is a direct result of your daily commitments, your repeated actions, and your unwavering choices. Every day, you are crafting your future. If you want to become healthier, you must repeatedly make choices that align with that goal. If you want to be more successful, you must consistently take steps toward it. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. Your future self is the culmination of what you do today, so choose wisely. The actions you take now are the building blocks of who you will ultimately become. Focus on progress, not perfection. Perfection is a dangerous illusion. It's a moving target that always seems just out of reach, no matter how hard you strive. It's the trap that keeps you stuck, constantly chasing something that doesn't exist. Progress, on the other hand, is real. It's measurable, attainable, and deeply rewarding. When you focus on progress instead of perfection, you give yourself permission to grow, to learn, and to improve without the crushing weight of an unattainable ideal. Perfectionism can paralyze you. It creates a fear of failure that prevents you from even trying. It whispers that you're not good enough, that if it's not perfect, it's not worth doing. But progress is about small, steady steps forward. It's about celebrating the effort, the improvement, and the milestones, no matter how small they seem. It's understanding that growth isn't linear, and that every step you take, every lesson you learn, brings you closer to your goals, even if it doesn't look perfect along the way. Focusing on progress shifts your mindset from an all or nothing approach to one that embraces the journey. It allows you to be kinder to yourself, recognizing that mistakes are part of learning, and that success isn't defined by flawlessness, but by perseverance. Progress doesn't demand perfection, it demands consistency. When you focus on progress, you free yourself from the tyranny of perfectionism and open the door to authentic growth, one step at a time. Don't take things personally. It's all too easy to internalize the words and actions of others, to believe that their judgments, criticisms, or dismissals are a reflection of your worth. But the truth is, most of what others say or do is a projection of their own thoughts, fears, and insecurities. When you take things personally, you're allowing someone else's perspective to dictate how you feel about yourself. This habit can chip away at your confidence, breed resentment, and make you overly sensitive to feedback that might not even be about you. People's actions are influenced by their own experiences, emotions, and circumstances. When someone is rude, dismissive, or critical, it often has more to do with their own struggles than anything you've done wrong. When you take these things personally, you're giving away your peace, allowing their negativity to disrupt your emotional state. But when you choose not to take things personally, you regain control. You begin to realize that you are not defined by other people's opinions or behaviors. You are in charge of how you perceive and react to the world around you. The freedom that comes from not taking things personally is powerful. You stop reacting impulsively to everything that triggers you. Instead, you begin to respond with understanding, compassion, and emotional detachment. This doesn't mean you let people walk all over you. It means you protect your peace by recognizing that not everything is about you. When you let go of the need to internalize others' words or actions, you set yourself free from unnecessary emotional turmoil. Trust in your own resilience. Life will knock you down. It's inevitable. You will face moments that challenge your strength, your spirit, and your ability to keep going. But within you is a powerful force that many overlook, your own resilience. Resilience is not about being unaffected by hardship. It's about how you rise after each fall. It's the ability to bend, not break, under pressure. It's the quiet strength that pushes you to keep moving forward, even when the path seems impossible. The beauty of resilience is that it is built over time. Every hardship, every setback adds layers to your character, making you more capable of facing what lies ahead. You may not see it in the moment, but with each challenge you endure, you become stronger. Your past struggles have already proven that you have what it takes to bounce back, even when you thought you couldn't. Trusting in your own resilience means believing in your ability to navigate through difficulties, even when you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's having faith that, no matter how many times you fall, you will always find a way to get back up. You may stumble, but you will never be defeated. Embrace your inner strength, because when you trust in your own resilience, you tap into a power that will carry you through life's toughest battles. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Asking for help is often seen as a sign of weakness or failure, but in reality, it is one of the most courageous and powerful things you can do. It takes vulnerability to admit that you don't have all the answers, that you need support, and that you cannot do everything alone. Yet, it is in those moments of asking for help that you unlock the potential for growth, collaboration, and connection. No one has ever achieved great things in isolation. Behind every success story is a network of people who offered guidance, support, or a helping hand when it was needed most. The fear of asking for help often stems from the belief that it reflects inadequacy or dependence. But the truth is, no one is self-sufficient. We are all humans, imperfect and evolving. By asking for help, you not only gain new perspectives and solutions, but you also build stronger relationships. It fosters a sense of community, of shared strength, and of mutual growth. When you allow others to help you, you are also giving them the opportunity to contribute to something meaningful, creating bonds that go far beyond mere transactions. Asking for help is a reflection of wisdom, not weakness. It shows that you recognize your limits, that you value others' expertise, and that you are willing to grow. Don't let pride or fear hold you back from the support that can propel you forward. Sometimes the greatest strength lies in knowing when you need a hand to lift you up. The best relationships are built on trust and communication. Trust and communication are the bedrock of any meaningful relationship. Without them, even the strongest connections can falter. Trust is the silent force that allows two people to feel safe with each other. It's the foundation upon which vulnerability, honesty, and deep connection are built. When trust is present, there's a sense of security, knowing that you can be yourself, express your thoughts, and share your feelings without fear of judgment or betrayal. It's what enables two people to grow together, knowing they are supported no matter what challenges come their way. Communication, however, is the vehicle that carries trust forward. It's not just about talking, but about truly listening, understanding, and sharing in a way that fosters mutual respect. Good communication goes beyond words. It's the unspoken understanding, the body language, the shared silence that says, "I'm here, I'm listening." When you communicate openly, honestly, and with empathy, you create a space where both people can express themselves fully. It keeps misunderstandings at bay and allows for resolution when conflicts arise. The beauty of trust and communication is that they feed into each other. The more you trust someone, the more comfortable you become in communicating openly. The better you communicate, the more trust you build. In a world where relationships often face stress and strain, these two elements are the glue that holds everything together. Without trust and communication, even the best intentions can be misunderstood. With them, you create a bond that's unbreakable. Failure is often just a stepping stone to success. Failure can feel like the end of the world in the moment. It stings, it bruises your ego, and it can shake your confidence to its core. But failure is not the enemy. It's an essential part of the journey to success. In fact, failure is often the very thing that paves the way for your greatest achievements. Each failure carries with it valuable lessons, lessons about resilience, perseverance, and what doesn't work. The most successful people in life are not those who avoid failure, but those who embrace it, learn from it, and rise stronger because of it. When you fail, you are given the opportunity to reassess, refocus, and refine your approach. It forces you to adapt, to think differently, and to keep pushing forward with more clarity and purpose. Every failure brings you closer to success by highlighting what needs to change, what needs to improve, and what you need to do differently next time. Rather than seeing failure as something to avoid, begin to see it as a sign that you are on the right path. It's a necessary part of the process that leads to growth and progress. Failure is not final. It's simply a detour, a lesson in disguise. If you've never failed, you've probably never taken a real risk. The most extraordinary achievements are often born from the ashes of failure. So, the next time you face a setback, don't view it as defeat. Instead, recognize it for what it truly is, a stepping stone moving you one step closer to success. No one has it all figured out. We often look at others and think they have everything under control: career, relationships, health, success. It can seem like everyone else knows exactly what they're doing while you're left fumbling through life. But the truth is, no one has it all figured out. Behind the curated social media posts, the professional success, and the perfect family photos, everyone is facing their own struggles, doubts, and moments of uncertainty. We are all just navigating the chaos of life the best we can. The pressure to have it all together can be overwhelming, but it's important to remember that it's okay not to have all the answers. Life is a process of trial and error, learning and unlearning. Even the most accomplished people have moments of doubt and fear. They don't have a roadmap that guarantees success, just the courage to keep going despite the unknowns. It's easy to feel inadequate when comparing yourself to others, but embracing the fact that no one has everything figured out takes the weight off your shoulders. You don't need to have all the answers today. It's okay to take things one step at a time, to change direction, and to learn as you go. The journey is messy, unpredictable, and full of surprises, and that's what makes it beautiful. Give yourself permission to not have it all figured out, because the truth is, neither does anyone else. Don't chase after things that drain you. Life is filled with opportunities, relationships, and goals that can either uplift you or deplete your energy. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of success, wealth, or recognition. But what if these things aren't in alignment with your true desires? The pursuit of things that drain you, whether it's a toxic job, unhealthy relationships, or goals that don't resonate with your core values, only leads to burnout, frustration, and a sense of emptiness. The more you chase after things that leave you feeling exhausted, the further you stray from your true purpose. When you continuously pour your energy into people or situations that take more than they give, you slowly erode your sense of self and your happiness. Life is precious, and your energy is your most valuable resource. Protect it by choosing pursuits that nourish you, that spark your passion, and that align with your vision of a fulfilled life. Sometimes it's not about doing more, but about doing less, letting go of what no longer serves you, and focusing on what truly energizes and excites you. Choosing to stop chasing things that drain you is an act of self-preservation. It's about recognizing that not every opportunity or relationship is worth pursuing, and that your peace, mental health, and joy are far more valuable than any external achievement. When you release what drains you, you create space for what brings you life, for what inspires and motivates you to grow. Know when to walk away from toxic situations. There comes a point in life when you realize that certain situations or relationships are draining the very essence of who you are. It could be a friendship, a family dynamic, a work environment, or a romantic relationship. Toxic situations thrive on negativity, manipulation, and emotional drain. They erode your sense of self, your peace, and your happiness. The hardest part is recognizing that it's not just a phase or a misunderstanding. It's a pattern that won't change unless you take action. Knowing when to walk away is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. It's not about giving up. It's about protecting your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. The longer you stay in toxic situations, the more you normalize the behavior and the more you allow it to diminish your worth. Walking away is a declaration that you value yourself too much to continue being subjected to negativity, control, or disrespect. It's not always easy to let go. You may feel guilt, fear, or doubt about leaving behind people or situations you've invested time and energy into, but deep down, you know that staying will only cause more harm. Walking away isn't a sign of weakness. It's an act of strength, courage, and self-respect. It's acknowledging that you deserve peace, joy, and relationships that nurture you. Know when it's time to walk away, because by doing so, you make space for healthier, more fulfilling experiences to enter your life. Your reputation matters. Build it carefully. Your reputation is one of the most valuable assets you have in life. It's not something you can easily buy, fabricate, or manipulate. It's earned through your actions, your words, and how you treat others. While you may not always be able to control what others say about you, you have full control over the impression you make. Every interaction, every decision, and every small act of integrity builds the image that others hold of you. That image has the power to open doors or close them, to build trust or destroy it. A strong reputation is built on consistency. It's about showing up as the same person, whether people are watching or not. It's about doing what you say you'll do and being accountable when you fall short. The way you handle both your successes and your failures speaks volumes about your character. The respect you earn from others is a reflection of how true you stay to your values and principles, especially when it's inconvenient. But a reputation is fragile. It takes years to build and only moments to tarnish. A single lie, a single betrayal can undo everything you've worked for. That's why it's so crucial to be mindful of your actions and the impact they have on others. In a world where everything is connected, your reputation precedes you. Build it with care, protect it with integrity, and recognize that how others perceive you often shapes the opportunities that come your way. It's okay to outgrow people. Not every relationship is meant to last forever, and that's okay. As you evolve, you may find that the people who once played a significant role in your life no longer align with who you are becoming. Outgrowing people isn't a reflection of malice or judgment. It's a natural part of personal growth. You change, your needs change, and sometimes the dynamics of old relationships simply no longer serve you. It can feel painful, especially when those connections have deep roots, but it's important to recognize that letting go is a part of making space for the new. Outgrowing people doesn't mean you're better than them, nor does it mean you have to sever ties completely. It simply means that your paths have diverged, and the energy you once shared may no longer feel harmonious. It's important to honor your own journey, even if it means drifting away from those you once felt close to. This doesn't diminish the love, the memories, or the lessons you learned from those relationships. It just means that you are in a different place now, and that's something to be embraced, not feared. The hardest part is the guilt you may feel, but remember, you are allowed to evolve. You deserve to surround yourself with people who support your growth, who align with your values, and who push you to be the best version of yourself. Outgrowing people is not a loss. It's a necessary part of becoming who you're meant to be. Let go of the need for external validation. We live in a world where external approval often feels like the ultimate measure of our worth. From likes on social media to the praise of others, it's easy to get caught up in seeking validation from the outside world. But the truth is, no amount of approval or recognition will ever be enough if you don't first find validation within yourself. When you constantly look for reassurance from others, you hand over your power to them, allowing their opinions and judgments to dictate how you feel about yourself. True self-worth comes from within. It's the deep understanding that you are enough, regardless of what anyone else thinks or says. External validation is fleeting. It's here one moment and gone the next. But when you rely on your own approval, you create a solid foundation of confidence that no one can take away. The more you seek validation from others, the more you lose touch with who you truly are. You start to shape yourself to meet their expectations instead of living authentically. Releasing the need for external validation is liberating. It allows you to be true to yourself, to pursue what genuinely matters to you, and to define your success on your own terms. When you no longer need others to validate your worth, you become free to live boldly, to follow your passions, and to stand firm in your own beliefs. Your value is intrinsic, and it's time to stop letting anyone else define it. Cultivate the ability to be alone with your thoughts. In today's fast-paced, always connected world, the idea of being alone with your thoughts can feel uncomfortable, even unnerving. The noise of daily life, the constant influx of information, conversations, and distractions often drowns out the quiet voice within. But learning to be alone with your thoughts is one of the most profound skills you can develop. It's in these moments of solitude that true self-awareness emerges, where you can connect with your inner desires, fears, and dreams without the influence of others. When you cultivate the ability to be alone with your thoughts, you stop running from yourself. You give yourself the space to process emotions, to reflect on your choices, and to hear what your heart is truly saying. It's not about escaping reality or retreating into isolation. It's about giving yourself permission to exist in your own presence without distractions. This practice fosters clarity and helps you separate your authentic desires from external pressures or expectations. Being alone with your thoughts allows you to confront uncomfortable truths, but it also opens up the possibility for growth. It's where creativity, insight, and understanding can flourish. In solitude, you can untangle your mind, identify your true passions, and align yourself with what matters most. Learning to embrace silence doesn't make you lonely, it makes you whole. By becoming comfortable with your own mind, you gain the strength to face whatever comes your way. With a deep understanding of who you are and what you truly need, focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. In a world that often emphasizes fixing what's broken, it's easy to get caught up in the belief that you need to focus on your weaknesses to grow. But in reality, true growth comes from honing and leveraging your strengths, what you're naturally good at, what brings you joy, and what you excel in are the areas where you can truly shine. By constantly trying to improve your weaknesses, you risk spreading yourself too thin, never fully tapping into the potential that already exists within you. Your strengths are the foundation upon which you can build success. They are the gifts and talents that make you unique, the qualities that set you apart from others. Instead of wasting time trying to become something you're not, invest that energy into amplifying what you already do well. This doesn't mean ignoring areas where you can improve, but it does mean recognizing that your greatest impact will come from doing what you love and what you excel at. When you focus on your strengths, you build confidence and momentum. You begin to see results faster and feel a deeper sense of fulfillment because you're working within your natural abilities. Success isn't about being perfect in every area. It's about playing to your strengths, doing what you're best at, and allowing yourself to grow from there. Embrace what makes you unique and watch how it transforms your personal and professional life. Understand that you can't please everyone. In the pursuit of acceptance, it's easy to fall into the trap of trying to make everyone happy. You may bend over backwards, compromise your values, or lose yourself in the process, all in the hopes of gaining approval. But the harsh reality is that no matter how hard you try, you will never please everyone. People's expectations, opinions, and desires are as varied as the stars in the sky. And no matter how much you change, there will always be someone who isn't satisfied with who you are or what you do. The desire to please others often stems from a fear of rejection or conflict, but this constant need for approval only leads to exhaustion and resentment. You begin to lose your authenticity, shaping yourself into someone you're not just to fit into others' expectations. The truth is, the only person whose approval you need is your own. When you stop trying to please everyone, you free yourself from the burden of constantly seeking validation from others. Embrace the freedom that comes with this understanding. People will have different opinions, and that's okay. It's impossible to be everything to everyone, and it's neither necessary nor healthy to try. Focus on being true to yourself, on living according to your values, and on surrounding yourself with those who appreciate you for who you truly are. When you accept that you can't please everyone, you finally start living for you, not for the approval of others. Appreciate the small moments in life. In the hustle of everyday life, it's easy to overlook the small moments that make life truly rich. We often wait for big milestones, promotions, vacations, or life-changing events to feel fulfilled, forgetting that life's most meaningful experiences often come in the form of quiet, fleeting moments. It's the warm cup of coffee on a chilly morning, the laughter shared with a friend, the simple joy of watching a sunset, or the comfort of a hug from a loved one. These small moments may seem insignificant at first, but when you begin to truly appreciate them, you realize they're what fill your life with meaning. So often, we're so focused on what's next that we miss the beauty of the present. We're conditioned to think that the big achievements and dramatic experiences are the ones that define us, but it's the accumulation of small, simple moments that truly shape our happiness. The joy of a quiet evening, the satisfaction of finishing a small task, the comfort of being with loved ones in everyday settings. These are the moments that offer the richest rewards. Taking time to appreciate these small moments nurtures gratitude and presence. It trains you to find contentment in the here and now rather than constantly chasing after something bigger. Life isn't just about the milestones. It's about the journey, the tiny details, and the simple joys that make up each day. When you learn to savor these moments, you realize they're the ones that bring true peace and fulfillment. Take responsibility for your happiness. Happiness is not something that will simply fall into your lap or be handed to you by others. It's a choice, a mindset, and a responsibility you must own. Too often, we place the weight of our happiness on external factors, on relationships, success, or the approval of others, believing that these things will give us the contentment we crave. But the truth is, waiting for someone or something to make you happy only leaves you feeling powerless and dependent. When you take responsibility for your happiness, you realize that it comes from within. You understand that no one else can fill that void for you, and that your joy doesn't depend on circumstances beyond your control. It's about creating your own sense of peace, finding gratitude in the small moments, and choosing positivity even when life gets tough. Taking responsibility means no longer waiting for the perfect time or situation. It's about making the conscious decision to be happy, regardless of what's going on around you. This doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's about accepting responsibility for how you respond to life's challenges and knowing that you have the power to shift your mindset. When you own your happiness, you free yourself from the traps of external validation and start creating a life that's fulfilling on your own terms. Happiness is yours to cultivate, and it begins with taking responsibility for it every single day. Set boundaries and enforce them. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful acts of self-respect you can practice. Boundaries are not about building walls, but about creating a space where you can protect your energy, your time, and your well-being. Without boundaries, you open the door to being overwhelmed, drained, and even taken advantage of. It's easy to think that setting boundaries might make you seem selfish or difficult, but the truth is, they are essential for maintaining healthy relationships and a balanced life. Boundaries are an act of self-care, and they communicate to others how you expect to be treated, whether it's in your personal relationships, your professional life, or even within your own internal dialogue. Knowing when to say no and when to assert your needs is crucial. When you allow others to overstep or disregard your boundaries, you compromise your own happiness and peace. On the other hand, when you enforce your boundaries with clarity and consistency, you create an environment where respect and mutual understanding can flourish. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you're closing yourself off. It means you're protecting the most important parts of yourself. It's about having the strength to say, "This is where I stand," and not feeling guilty for doing so. When you set and enforce boundaries, you begin to attract relationships that are more genuine and healthier. You teach others how to treat you, and you give yourself the space to thrive without constantly sacrificing your own needs. Don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid of not trying. Failure is often seen as the end, the final nail in the coffin of our dreams. It's scary. It feels like defeat, like admitting that we weren't good enough or that our efforts were in vain. But the real fear should not be in failing. It should be in not trying at all. When you hold yourself back, too afraid to take that first step, you're not giving yourself the opportunity to grow, to learn, or to discover what you're truly capable of. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Every successful person has failed, and those failures are often the most valuable experiences of all. They teach us what doesn't work, what we need to improve, and what we truly want out of life. It's the act of trying, of stepping into the unknown, of giving your all that matters most. Not every attempt will succeed, but every attempt brings you closer to your goals. The biggest regret in life is not the failures, but the what-ifs. the missed opportunities, the dreams left unpursued. When you don't try, you close yourself off to possibility. You deny yourself the chance to learn from mistakes and to feel the exhilaration of progress, even if it's slow. The real failure is in the moments you don't take the chance at all. So don't let fear hold you back. Try, even if it means failing, because in the end, not trying is the one thing you'll truly regret. Be generous, but not to your detriment. Generosity is a beautiful quality, one that connects us to others and builds a sense of community. There's a profound joy in giving, whether it's your time, resources, or love, but generosity can quickly become a double-edged sword if you give so much that it drains you. The key to true generosity lies in balance. It's about sharing what you can, when you can, without sacrificing your own well-being. Too often, we give to the point of depletion, neglecting our own needs and boundaries in the process. This can lead to burnout, resentment, and a sense of emptiness. Being generous doesn't mean you must always say yes to others or give until you have nothing left to give. It's about understanding that your own health, mental, emotional, and physical, matters too. When you give from a place of abundance, you are better able to serve others, and your generosity comes from a place of joy rather than obligation. But when you give to the point where it harms you, you're not truly helping anyone, least of all yourself. Generosity is about knowing your limits and honoring them. It's about being wise enough to say no when you need to, and recognizing that taking care of yourself enables you to give more authentically and sustainably. By practicing self-care and giving thoughtfully, you can make a true difference in the lives of others while still preserving your own energy and peace. Generosity is a gift, one that should lift both you and the people around you. Don't let fear control you. Fear is a powerful force. It can paralyze you, keep you stuck in place, and stop you from reaching your true potential. But fear, in itself, isn't the enemy. It's how you respond to it that determines its power over you. Fear often stems from the unknown, from imagined worst-case scenarios, or from past experiences that left a mark on your psyche. It's easy to let fear dictate your decisions, holding you back from pursuing your dreams, taking risks, or stepping outside your comfort zone. But when you let fear control you, you forfeit your freedom to live fully. The truth is, fear is often a sign that you are on the edge of growth. It's the voice that warns you of danger, but it's also the voice that tries to keep you small, safe, and predictable. What you must realize is that you don't have to let fear be the driver of your life. Instead of avoiding fear, you can learn to walk through it. Every time you face a fear, you expand your courage, you break a barrier, and you prove to yourself that you are capable of far more than you ever thought possible. Fear loses its grip when you face it head on. It's not about eliminating fear entirely. It's about not allowing it to define your choices or limit your potential. When you choose to take action despite fear, you reclaim control, and what once seemed impossible becomes part of your journey. Fear may always be present, but it doesn't have to hold you back. You are stronger than it thinks. Avoid getting caught up in drama. Drama has a way of pulling you in, whether it's through gossip, conflict, or emotional upheaval. It's tempting to engage, to react, and to feed into the chaos. But the truth is, getting caught up in drama only drains your energy, disrupts your peace, and distracts you from what truly matters. Drama is often fueled by insecurity, ego, and a need for attention, and when you become involved, you lose your focus and your sense of self. You become entangled in a web that takes you further away from your goals, your happiness, and your personal growth. Avoiding drama doesn't mean ignoring problems or avoiding difficult conversations. It means choosing not to engage in negativity that isn't yours to fix. When you distance yourself from drama, you create space for clarity and peace. You start to realize that not everything requires your input, and not every issue deserves your emotional energy. By disengaging, you protect your mental well-being and create more room for positivity, focus, and constructive conversations. The more you avoid drama, the more you can cultivate an environment of calm, respect, and understanding around you. You set an example for others, showing them that peace is more valuable than the fleeting satisfaction of being part of the noise. Choosing to stay out of drama is an act of self-preservation and understanding that your energy is far too valuable to waste on things that don't align with your values and purpose. Learn to say no when necessary. Saying no is one of the most empowering tools you can wield in life, yet it often feels uncomfortable. We fear disappointing others, being labeled as difficult, or missing out on opportunities. But constantly saying yes, whether to people's demands, requests, or obligations, can drain your energy, overwhelm you, and prevent you from focusing on what truly matters. The power of no lies in setting boundaries that protect your time, your well-being, and your peace of mind. When you say yes to everything, you stretch yourself too thin, losing sight of your priorities. You may end up compromising your values, neglecting your own needs, or burning out. Saying no is not a rejection of others. It's a commitment to yourself. It's acknowledging that your time, your energy, and your attention are limited resources, and they need to be spent on things that align with your goals, your values, and your personal growth. The fear of saying no often stems from the worry of letting others down. But the truth is, those who truly value you will respect your boundaries. Learning to say no is a sign of self-respect and self-awareness. It's about protecting your mental and emotional health, and about giving yourself the space to focus on what's important. In the end, saying no isn't about shutting others out. It's about making room for the things that matter most in your life. Don't chase after things that are not aligned with your values. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of goals and desires that seem appealing on the surface, but not every opportunity or material possession will lead you to fulfillment. When you chase after things that don't align with your values, you may temporarily achieve success, but it will always feel empty. The feeling of accomplishment quickly fades when it isn't grounded in what truly matters to you. Your values are the core of who you are, the principles and beliefs that guide your decisions and shape your identity. When you honor them, you feel a sense of purpose and authenticity in everything you do. Chasing external achievements, societal expectations, or the approval of others can easily pull you away from your own truth. You might find yourself in a place where you've achieved everything you thought you wanted, only to realize that you feel unfulfilled, anxious, or disconnected from yourself. This is the dissonance that happens when your goals don't align with your deepest values. True success comes from pursuing what resonates with your inner beliefs and desires. It's about aligning your actions with your personal purpose, rather than chasing after what others deem important. When you follow your values, you create a life that feels meaningful, authentic, and worth living. So, don't waste your energy on paths that lead nowhere or lead to someone else's dream. Stay true to yourself and pursue only what aligns with who you truly are. Be humble and stay grounded. Humility is a quiet strength that keeps you rooted in reality. It's the ability to recognize your own value without inflating your sense of importance. In a world that often celebrates self-promotion, power, and prestige, humility stands as a reminder that true strength comes not from boasting, but from being grounded in who you truly are. It's about acknowledging your achievements, but also recognizing that you're always learning, always growing, and always capable of improving. Staying grounded means not allowing success, wealth, or external validation to define you. It's easy to get swept up in the admiration of others, but the key to long-lasting success and fulfillment is remembering where you came from and the journey it took to get where you are. Being humble allows you to stay connected to your roots, no matter how far you climb. It's about appreciating others' successes as much as your own and not letting ego drive your actions. Humility is also about understanding that no one is above learning, no matter how much they've achieved. Staying grounded means being open to feedback, remaining teachable, and knowing that every person you meet has something valuable to offer. The more humble you are, the more you attract people who respect you for who you truly are, not for the image you project. True power lies in humility. It's in the quiet confidence that doesn't need to shout, but simply exists. Stay humble, stay grounded, and the world will respect you for it. Perfectionism will hold you back. The pursuit of perfection can be seductive. The desire to get everything right, to make every detail flawless, can feel like a noble goal. But perfectionism is not the path to success. It's the path to stagnation. Striving for perfection often leads to procrastination, self-doubt, and fear of taking risks. It creates a mindset where nothing is ever good enough, and the fear of making mistakes keeps you from moving forward. In the quest for perfection, you end up stuck in an endless loop of revision, overthinking, and hesitation. The reality is that perfection doesn't exist. What seems perfect to one person might be flawed in someone else's eyes. And even if you manage to create something flawless, the constant pressure to maintain that level of perfection can drain your creativity, your joy, and your motivation. Perfectionism also stops you from learning, as the fear of failure often outweighs the willingness to try. It's not about getting it right every time. It's about progress, growth, and learning through the process. Embrace imperfection, because that's where real growth happens. Instead of waiting for everything to align perfectly, take action now. Make mistakes, learn from them, and keep going. The more you release the need for perfection, the more you'll accomplish. Perfectionism keeps you from starting, but imperfection frees you to create, evolve, and make your mark on the world. Don't put your dreams on hold for someone else. It's easy to put your dreams aside for the sake of others, whether it's for a partner, family, friends, or even a job. You may convince yourself that their needs, wants, or expectations are more important than your own aspirations, but by doing this, you risk losing a part of yourself. Your dreams are a reflection of your desires, your purpose, and your potential. When you put them on hold, you not only sacrifice your future, but also rob yourself of the fulfillment that comes from pursuing what truly lights you up. It's important to understand that while it's noble to care for others and be there for them, your life is your own to live. No one else can walk your path, chase your dreams, or fulfill your potential. Only you can do that. If you constantly push your own goals aside to cater to someone else, you will begin to feel resentful, unfulfilled, and disconnected from your true self. Eventually, you may even forget what your dreams were in the first place. Pursuing your dreams doesn't mean abandoning or hurting others. It means being true to yourself while maintaining healthy relationships. It's about finding the balance between caring for others and nurturing your own growth. Don't let fear, guilt, or the expectations of others keep you from living the life you're meant to live. Your dreams matter, and you owe it to yourself to chase them unapologetically. Your time is more valuable than your money. In a world that often measures success by financial wealth, it's easy to forget that time is the most precious resource we have. Money can be earned back, invested, or spent, but time, once gone, can never be reclaimed. We often find ourselves trading time for money, working long hours or pursuing things for the sake of earning more. But the reality is, no amount of money will bring back the moments you've lost. Time is something you can't buy, and it's the one thing that slips through your fingers whether you're paying attention or not. The true value of time becomes clear when you realize that it's the only thing that defines your life. Every minute you spend on something that doesn't bring you joy, fulfillment, or growth is a minute you'll never get back. Yes, financial security is important, but what good is it if you've sacrificed your most valuable asset, your time, in the process? The people you love, the experiences you cherish, and the passions you pursue all rely on your time. When you live with the understanding that time is more valuable than money, you begin to prioritize what truly matters. Investing your time wisely means focusing on relationships, personal growth, and experiences that enrich your life. It's about making conscious choices to spend your time in ways that align with your values rather than mindlessly chasing after more wealth. After all, it's the moments spent living fully, not the dollars accumulated, that create a meaningful life. Keep your expectations realistic. Expectations shape the way we approach life, but when they're set too high or are out of touch with reality, they can set us up for disappointment and frustration. It's easy to dream big and aim for the stars, but expecting perfection or immediate success can lead to burnout and self-doubt. Keeping your expectations realistic means understanding that life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and imperfections, and accepting that success is often a journey, not a destination. When your expectations are grounded in reality, you give yourself room to grow. You acknowledge that progress takes time, that failures are learning opportunities, and that setbacks don't define your worth. Realistic expectations also help you appreciate the small wins, the little steps forward that often get overlooked when we focus solely on the big picture. Realism doesn't mean lowering your standards. It means having a clear understanding of what's possible given the resources, time, and effort you're able to invest. It's about finding a balance between ambition and patience, allowing you to strive for greatness without setting yourself up for inevitable disappointment. When you align your expectations with what's realistic, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and create a path forward that's both attainable and fulfilling. Remember, it's not about expecting less from life, but about accepting the process as it unfolds. The more realistic you are with yourself, the more peace you'll find along the way. Never stop evolving. In life, growth is not a destination, but a continuous journey. The moment you stop evolving, you begin to stagnate. The world around you is constantly changing, and to thrive, you must adapt. Sticking to old habits, beliefs, or ways of thinking can hold you back from realizing your full potential. Evolving isn't just about acquiring new skills or knowledge. It's about evolving your mindset, your perspective, and your understanding of the world and yourself. When you stop evolving, you become stuck in the past, constantly fighting against change instead of embracing it. But when you commit to evolving, whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal growth, you open yourself to limitless possibilities. It's about being open to new ideas, taking risks, and being willing to step out of your comfort zone. The world rewards those who are willing to adapt, grow, and learn from every experience. Evolution requires vulnerability and courage. It means acknowledging that you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. It's about having the humility to learn, the courage to fail, and the wisdom to grow. Never stop evolving means that you remain curious, passionate, and dedicated to improving yourself, regardless of your age, success, or circumstances. The only way to truly live is to continue evolving, to push beyond your limits, and to embrace the journey of becoming the best version of yourself. You can always make a comeback. Life has a way of knocking us down when we least expect it, whether it's a failure, a setback, or a personal loss. Those moments can leave you feeling defeated, questioning your abilities, and wondering if you'll ever recover. But here's the truth. No matter how far you fall, no matter how many times you stumble, you can always make a comeback. Your past doesn't define your future. The strength to rise again comes from within, and it's always there, even when you think it's gone. A comeback isn't about avoiding failure or setbacks. It's about how you respond to them. It's the courage to get back up after you've been knocked down, the determination to keep moving forward even when the road feels long and uncertain. Every time you face adversity, you gain valuable lessons that prepare you for the next challenge. What seems like the end is often just the beginning of a new chapter, one where you are stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. No one is immune to failure or hardship, but what sets the successful apart is their ability to bounce back. The key to a comeback is belief. Belief in yourself, in your ability to overcome, and in the idea that this setback is just a temporary detour. With perseverance, focus, and a willingness to keep going, you can turn any setback into a comeback story. Surround yourself with people who challenge you. The people you spend time with have a profound influence on who you become. When you surround yourself with those who encourage you to stay comfortable, you risk stagnating in your growth. But when you surround yourself with individuals who challenge you, who push you to think deeper, to question your assumptions, and to strive for more, you open the door to personal transformation. Challenging relationships are not always easy, but they are the ones that make you evolve, that force you to rise above your current limits and become a better version of yourself. These people won't just tell you what you want to hear. They will push you out of your comfort zone and offer perspectives that may make you uncomfortable at first. But discomfort is where growth happens. They will inspire you to take risks, challenge your beliefs, and pursue goals that you might have once thought were too ambitious. While it may be hard to hear tough feedback, it is often these uncomfortable conversations that teach us the most about our blind spots, our weaknesses, and where we need to improve. When you're surrounded by people who challenge you, they help you see your potential in ways you can't on your own. They'll hold you accountable and encourage you to set higher standards for yourself. Choose to be in the company of those who make you question, think, and grow. In doing so, you invite progress and evolution into your life, propelling yourself toward new achievements, deeper understanding, and greater success. Confidence is built by doing, not just thinking. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop through action. It's easy to think about how you'll tackle a challenge or dream about the person you want to become, but real confidence comes when you step outside your comfort zone and take action, even when you're unsure. Every time you try something new, every time you take that first step, despite fear or doubt, you build a little more belief in yourself. The act of doing, whether it's pursuing a goal, having a difficult conversation, or facing an unknown challenge, reinforces the belief that you are capable. Each success, no matter how small, adds to your confidence. Even failures become valuable lessons, showing you that setbacks don't mean defeat. They're simply part of the journey. The more you do, the more you prove to yourself that you can handle what comes your way. Thinking alone won't make you confident. It will only make you anxious, overanalyzing and doubting yourself. Confidence grows in the space between thought and action, where you push past the fear and make things happen. The more you act, the more you realize that you are stronger, more resilient, and more capable than you ever imagined. Confidence is built in the doing, and when you start acting, you begin to discover the power that's been within you all along. Embrace discomfort. It's where growth happens. Discomfort is something most of us instinctively avoid. We seek comfort, stability, and predictability because it feels safe, familiar, and easy. But the truth is, real growth never comes from staying in that cozy, predictable space. Growth happens when you push yourself beyond your limits, when you face challenges that make your heart race, your palms sweat, and your mind question everything you thought you knew. Discomfort is the signal that you are on the edge of transformation, standing at the threshold of becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable than you were before. Every meaningful accomplishment, every skill worth mastering, and every lesson worth learning comes wrapped in discomfort. It might be the fear of failure that holds you back from pursuing your dream, the anxiety of confrontation that prevents you from asserting your worth, or the uncertainty of change that keeps you stagnant. Each time you step into that discomfort, you expand your boundaries and prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Avoiding discomfort might feel like self-preservation, but it's actually self-limitation. By embracing it, you unlock resilience, courage, and clarity. You learn to tolerate uncertainty, endure challenges, and transform obstacles into opportunities. Discomfort becomes a teacher, a guide showing you where you need to grow. It's in the uneasy moments, the stretching, the struggling, the unknown, that you discover the depth of your potential and the strength you never knew existed. You're allowed to change your mind. Life is an evolving journey, and with every experience, every lesson, and every new piece of information, you grow. It's okay to change your mind along the way. In fact, it's a sign of strength and self-awareness. Holding on to a decision simply because you've made it can trap you in a path that no longer serves you. Change is part of growth, and the willingness to adapt your thinking is what allows you to evolve into the person you are meant to become. So many of us hold on to choices out of fear of being judged or feeling like we've wasted time or effort. But the reality is, changing your mind is not a failure. It's a triumph of personal growth. It shows that you are learning, that you are listening to yourself, and that you are brave enough to pivot when you realize something is no longer aligned with who you are or what you want. Your values, priorities, and perspectives may shift over time, and that's perfectly fine. You're allowed to make new decisions based on where you are now, not where you were before. Changing your mind isn't about inconsistency, it's about authenticity. It's about honoring your own truth as it evolves and embracing the flexibility to move toward what truly resonates with you. Don't fear the change, welcome it. It's your life, and you have the power to shape it in any direction you choose. Learn to let go of grudges. Holding on to grudges is like carrying a heavy burden, one that only weighs you down and keeps you tethered to the past. When you hold on to anger or resentment, you're not punishing the person who wronged you. You're punishing yourself. Grudges eat away at your peace, cloud your judgment, and prevent you from moving forward. The longer you hold on to them, the more energy and focus you waste on something that cannot be changed. Letting go of grudges doesn't mean excusing the hurtful actions or pretending that they didn't matter. It means releasing the hold that past pain has over your life. It's about choosing your peace over your anger, your happiness over your resentment. When you let go, you free yourself from the emotional weight that keeps you stuck. You create space in your heart and mind for healing, growth, and new possibilities. Forgiving isn't a sign of weakness. It's an act of strength and wisdom. It requires courage to let go of what has hurt you and to stop allowing it to define you. By releasing grudges, you reclaim your power, taking control of your emotional well-being. Grudges only rob you of your time, your energy, and your joy. So make the choice to forgive, not for the other person, but for yourself. Let go and experience the freedom that comes with it. Everything you need is already within you. The search for fulfillment, success, or peace often leads us to look outside ourselves, through others, through achievements, or through possessions. But the truth is, everything you need to live a purposeful and meaningful life is already within you. Your potential, your strength, your wisdom, and your capacity for growth all reside inside you, waiting to be tapped into. The answers you seek are not external. They are within your own heart and mind. When you realize this, it changes everything. You stop seeking validation or approval from others because you begin to trust your own instincts and inner guidance. You stop feeling like something is missing or like you're incomplete. You understand that the power to overcome obstacles, the wisdom to make decisions, and the resilience to endure challenges all come from within. It's not about waiting for the right moment or for someone else to give you what you need. It's about realizing that you already possess the resources to thrive. Too often, we look outside ourselves for what can only be found within. When you cultivate self-awareness and connect with your true self, you unlock a source of inner strength that propels you forward. Trust in the fact that you are capable, resourceful, and enough, just as you are. Everything you need is already within you. It's time to believe it and let it guide you. The most important relationship is the one you have with yourself. We often pour energy into our relationships with others, our families, friends, partners, and colleagues, but the most essential relationship you will ever have is the one you cultivate with yourself. Everything in your life stems from how you view and treat yourself. If you don't have a healthy, loving relationship with yourself, it becomes impossible to truly connect with others or fully embrace the life you desire. Self-relationship is built on self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-love. It's about understanding who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears, and your dreams, and treating yourself with kindness, not judgment. When you prioritize your own well-being, you stop waiting for validation from others and start seeking it from within. You stop allowing others' opinions to dictate your worth and recognize that you are enough exactly as you are. The relationship you have with yourself dictates your actions, decisions, and the boundaries you set in your life. If you don't respect and love yourself, you'll likely allow others to treat you in ways that don't honor your value. Your mental and emotional health depends on this relationship. When you nurture yourself, when you practice self-compassion, set healthy boundaries, and take care of your needs, you become stronger, more confident, and more resilient in all areas of life. When you invest in your relationship with yourself, you unlock the ability to give and receive love freely, with authenticity and depth. You create a foundation that allows you to thrive, no matter what challenges life throws your way. Don't let regret define your future. Regret can feel heavy, like a weight dragging you back into the past, reminding you of decisions you wish you'd made differently. It can consume your thoughts, cloud your judgment, and make you feel like your mistakes are irreparable. But the danger of regret lies in allowing it to define who you are and what you're capable of moving forward. Regret is a part of life, but it doesn't have to control your future. The past is gone, and the only thing that truly matters now is what you choose to do with the present and the future. When you let regret dictate your actions, you close yourself off to new opportunities and growth. You become stuck, constantly looking behind you rather than moving ahead. Yes, it's natural to feel disappointed in the choices you've made or the chances you didn't take, but you can't change what's already been done. What you can change is your mindset. Every day is a new chance to make different choices, to learn from past mistakes, and to redefine your path. Regret becomes toxic when you allow it to shape your self-worth. Instead, use it as a tool for growth. Acknowledge the lesson, forgive yourself, and then move forward with the wisdom you've gained. The future is yours to create, and the only way to build it is by releasing the hold that regret has on you. Don't let past mistakes imprison you. Your best days are still ahead. Don't waste energy on things that don't serve you. Energy is a finite resource, and how you spend it directly impacts the quality of your life. Every moment you invest in negativity, unproductive habits, or situations that don't align with your values drains you. When you focus on things that don't serve your growth, happiness, or well-being, you're essentially allowing distractions and toxicity to take center stage in your life. The truth is, there's a price to paying attention to things that hold no value, whether it's gossip, unnecessary drama, or pursuits that leave you feeling empty. The power to live a fulfilling life comes from being intentional with where you direct your energy. Time and again, you'll encounter situations that will demand your attention, people who drain you, tasks that overwhelm you, or conflicts that pull you away from your true purpose. But you have the choice to decide what deserves your energy. When you stop feeding these distractions, you open up space for things that truly matter: growth, connection, passion, and purpose. Focusing on what serves you means letting go of what weighs you down. It means saying no to things that deplete you and yes to the things that lift you up and push you forward. By choosing to channel your energy wisely, you protect your peace, nourish your spirit, and create a life that aligns with your deepest desires. Stop giving away your energy to things that drain you. Instead, invest it in what fuels you. Take pride in your work, no matter how small. Every task you do, regardless of its size or significance, is an opportunity to express your integrity, your skills, and your values. Too often, people dismiss the smaller, seemingly insignificant tasks, thinking they don't matter in the grand scheme of things. But the truth is, it's in the small, everyday efforts that your character shines through. Taking pride in your work, no matter how minor it may seem, reflects a deep respect for yourself and the craft you are engaged in. When you approach every task with care and attention to detail, you send a message to yourself and the world that you value what you do. It's not about the task itself, it's about the attitude you bring to it. Whether it's a major project or something as simple as responding to an email, the effort you put into it shapes how you see yourself and how others perceive you. Excellence isn't defined by the size of the task, but by the quality of your effort. By taking pride in your work, you develop a mindset of constant improvement. Every small task is an opportunity to practice discipline, to refine your skills, and to build a habit of doing things well. Over time, these seemingly insignificant actions add up, creating a foundation of trust, respect, and achievement. So no matter how small the task, always give it your best. The pride you take in your work will elevate not just the outcome, but your sense of self and your capacity to excel. You are never too old to learn something new. There's a misconception that learning is only for the young, that as we age, we should stop seeking new knowledge, skills, or experiences. But the truth is, you are never too old to learn something new. Life doesn't have an age limit for growth, and your capacity for learning doesn't diminish as you get older. It expands, especially when you allow yourself the freedom to explore new horizons. Learning at any age is an act of curiosity, an invitation to see the world with fresh eyes. Whether it's picking up a new hobby, mastering a new technology, or diving into a completely new subject, the joy and fulfillment that come from learning something new are timeless. It doesn't matter if you're in your 20s or your 60s, your brain has the ability to adapt, evolve, and retain new information at any stage of life. The fear of not being able to keep up or feeling out of place in unfamiliar territory is natural, but it shouldn't stop you. When you choose to learn, you enrich your life. You expand your perspective, challenge your preconceptions, and become more adaptable in an ever-changing world. Learning something new keeps your mind sharp, your heart open, and your sense of wonder alive. Age should never be an excuse for limiting yourself. Every day is an opportunity to discover something new about the world and about yourself. Embrace the idea that you are always capable of growth, no matter your age. Find joy in the journey, not just the destination. It's easy to become fixated on the end goal, believing that happiness will only come once you achieve that dream, reach that milestone, or cross that finish line. We often tell ourselves that when I get there, I'll be happy. But the truth is, the journey itself holds far more meaning than the destination. The moments you experience along the way, both the highs and the lows, are what shape you, what teach you, and what allow you to truly appreciate the victories you achieve. When you focus solely on the destination, you miss out on the beauty of the process. Life isn't just about ticking off boxes or reaching certain points. It's about the lessons you learn, the people you meet, the challenges you overcome, and the small victories that come with each step forward. The journey is where growth happens, where resilience is built, and where memories are made. Every day that you invest in the pursuit of your dreams is a chance to experience something new, to learn about yourself, and to appreciate the moments that often go unnoticed. If you wait for the destination to bring you joy, you'll find that the joy was always right in front of you, through the struggles, the setbacks, and the everyday moments. Find contentment in where you are, in who you are becoming, and in the steps you take to get there. The journey is the true reward. Understand that life is full of seasons, both good and bad. Life is not a constant, unchanging state. It ebbs and flows, like the seasons of nature, shifting from moments of light to times of darkness, from growth to stillness, just as we experience the vibrant warmth of summer and the cold, quiet winter. Our personal journeys go through cycles of joy, struggle, success, and hardship. The key to navigating life is understanding that these seasons are temporary and they are all part of the bigger picture. When you're in a season of struggle, it's easy to feel like it will last forever, but it won't. Every difficult moment has an end, and just as the darkest winter eventually gives way to spring, your tough times will pass. Embracing this truth allows you to hold on during the tough seasons, knowing that better days are ahead. On the flip side, when you're experiencing success or happiness, it's important to savor those moments without taking them for granted. Life has a way of balancing itself out, and the good moments will be tempered with the bad. Accepting life's natural rhythm means allowing yourself to feel fully in each season, whether it's celebrating the highs or learning from the lows. When you stop fighting the inevitable ups and downs, you open yourself up to deeper growth, resilience, and gratitude. Life's seasons are all interconnected, and each one teaches you something valuable. Protect your peace at all costs. Peace is a fragile yet invaluable treasure, and once you experience its true depth, you realize that it must be fiercely protected. In a world filled with chaos, noise, and constant distractions, it's easy to lose your sense of calm. But your inner peace is essential to your well-being, your clarity, and your ability to navigate life with purpose. When you let external circumstances or toxic people disturb your peace, you allow them to steal your energy, your focus, and your happiness. Protecting your peace means setting boundaries, learning to say no to things that drain you, to people who don't respect your energy, and to situations that leave you feeling overwhelmed. It means knowing when to walk away, when to turn off the noise, and when to retreat into stillness. It's not about avoiding life's challenges, but about maintaining a sense of calm amidst them. When you protect your peace, you become more centered, more resilient, and better equipped to handle whatever comes your way. Your peace is not something to be compromised. It is the foundation that allows you to think clearly, to make wise decisions, and to show up as your best self. By prioritizing it, you create a life where you're not at the mercy of external chaos, but instead, you move through the world grounded in serenity. Protect your peace fiercely, because when you do, you protect your ability to thrive. Embrace your imperfections. In a world that glorifies perfection, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that you need to be flawless to be worthy or successful. We often hide our flaws, cover up our mistakes, or try to be someone we're not, all in an effort to fit into a mold created by society's standards. But the truth is, your imperfections are what make you uniquely you. They are not weaknesses, but signs of your humanity, your growth, and your authenticity. When you embrace your imperfections, you stop fighting against the parts of yourself that make you different and start celebrating them. You accept that you are a work in progress, and that's okay. Perfection is a myth. It doesn't exist. The pursuit of it only leads to frustration and burnout, because there will always be something to improve. But when you accept that you are imperfect, you free yourself from the burden of trying to meet unattainable standards. Embracing your imperfections allows you to step into your full power. It opens the door to self-compassion, as you recognize that making mistakes is part of being human. Every flaw is an opportunity for growth, and every mistake is a lesson in disguise. When you stop hiding your imperfections, you allow others to see your true self, and this creates deeper, more genuine connections. In a world that often values perfection, embracing your imperfections makes you not only more relatable, but more real, more beautiful, and more authentic. Don't allow your fears to dictate your decisions. Fear has a way of sneaking into your mind, convincing you to play it safe, to hold back, or to stay within your comfort zone. It whispers that you're not capable, that failure is just around the corner, or that something bad will happen if you take the leap. But the truth is, fear is often the greatest barrier between you and the life you want to create. When you let fear dictate your decisions, you give it control over your future. You miss out on opportunities for growth, for success, and for joy. Everyone experiences fear, but it's how you choose to respond to it that determines your path. Fear can be a guide, pointing out potential risks, but it should never be the reason you hold back from pursuing what truly matters to you. When you make decisions based on fear, you're not living authentically. You're living cautiously, weighed down by what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. True courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward in spite of it. When you choose to face your fears, rather than letting them control you, you open the door to new possibilities. You allow yourself to step into the unknown, where growth happens. Don't let fear stand in the way of your dreams. Acknowledge it, feel it, and then take the next step anyway. The power to shape your life lies in your ability to move beyond your fears, not be controlled by them. Success is a byproduct of consistent effort. Success isn't a sudden magical moment that appears out of nowhere. It's not about having one breakthrough idea or catching a lucky break. True success is the result of continuous, consistent effort over time. It's the daily commitment to showing up, putting in the work, and making small, meaningful progress, even when the rewards are not immediately visible. People who achieve lasting success understand that it's not about perfection or instant gratification. It's about persistence and dedication. Every step you take toward your goal, no matter how small, adds up over time. The key is staying consistent, even when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. The path to success is rarely linear, and the challenges along the way can make progress feel slow. But those who persist, who keep putting in effort despite setbacks, are the ones who eventually reach their destination. Success is not a destination, but the result of the daily choices you make to keep moving forward. When you focus on the process rather than obsessing over the outcome, you begin to see how your consistent efforts shape your progress. It's the compound effect of small actions, repeated day in and day out, that creates massive change. So embrace the journey, trust the process, and know that success will follow if you continue to put in the work. Every effort, no matter how small, is a step closer to where you want to be. Self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. In a world that constantly demands more from you, whether it's from your career, your family, or your friends, it's easy to neglect your own needs. You might feel guilty for taking time for yourself, as if caring for your own well-being is somehow selfish or indulgent. But the truth is, self-care is essential to your mental, emotional, and physical health. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and if you don't take care of yourself, you won't have the energy or strength to show up for others in the way that you want to. Self-care is not just about indulgence. It's about setting boundaries, restoring your energy, and prioritizing your needs so that you can be the best version of yourself. It's about making time for rest, for reflection, for hobbies that bring you joy, and for activities that recharge your spirit. When you make self-care a priority, you're not only honoring your own well-being, but also enabling yourself to give more to the people and things you care about. Taking care of yourself isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the practice of ensuring that you are strong, balanced, and capable of handling life's demands. Without self-care, you risk burnout, stress, and resentment. When you care for yourself, you replenish your energy, your joy, and your ability to face life's challenges with grace and resilience. It's not selfish. It's the foundation that allows you to live a full, healthy, and meaningful life. Surround yourself with people who support your growth. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on who you become. If you're constantly in the company of those who bring you down, question your potential, or keep you stuck in negativity, your growth will be stunted. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who uplift, challenge, and support you, you create an environment that fosters progress, positivity, and transformation. Growth is not just an individual journey, it's a collective one, and the right people can be the fuel that propels you forward. People who support your growth are those who believe in your potential even when you doubt it, who encourage you to step outside of your comfort zone, and who celebrate your successes, big or small. They offer constructive feedback, not to criticize, but to help you improve and evolve. Their energy and mindset align with your own aspirations, and they inspire you to reach higher, dream bigger, and push further than you thought possible. These are the individuals who will be there for you through the tough times, reminding you of your strength and resilience when the road gets rough. They are the ones who help you stay accountable to your goals, keep you motivated, and hold space for your growth. Surrounding yourself with people who genuinely support your evolution doesn't just help you thrive, it makes the journey more meaningful and rewarding. Life is too short to spend it with people who don't encourage your highest potential. Choose your circle wisely and watch how it transforms your path. It's okay to take a break. In a world that glorifies constant hustle, it's easy to feel guilty about resting. We've been conditioned to believe that success requires relentless effort, that stopping means falling behind. But the truth is, taking a break isn't a sign of weakness. It's a necessary act of self-care. Your body, mind, and spirit all need time to recharge, reflect, and renew. Pushing yourself without pause only leads to burnout, exhaustion, and a decrease in overall productivity. When you give yourself permission to step back, you create space for clarity and creativity. A break allows you to restock your energy, gain perspective, and return with renewed focus and strength. It's not about quitting or abandoning your goals. It's about understanding that rest is part of the process. Just as a machine needs maintenance to function at its best, so too do you need time to rest in order to keep performing at your highest level. Taking a break doesn't mean you're falling behind or giving up. It means you're valuing your well-being and preparing yourself to come back stronger. Whether it's a few minutes of quiet, a weekend off, or a longer period of rest, it's okay to step away from the grind. Embrace the pause, trust that you're refueling, and know that when you return, you'll be ready to take on whatever comes next. It's okay to take a break. You deserve it. Progress often looks like a series of small steps. We often envision progress as a dramatic leap, a sudden breakthrough that transforms everything in an instant. But in reality, true progress is a slow, steady build. It's a series of small steps, each one seemingly insignificant on its own, that add up over time to create meaningful change. These small actions, repeated consistently, accumulate and lay the foundation for growth and success. The key is to trust the process, even when the results don't appear to be immediate. The journey toward any goal is rarely a straight line. There will be moments where it feels like you're not moving forward at all, or that the progress you've made is too small to matter. But those incremental steps, whether it's a new habit, a bit of extra effort, or learning something new, are all part of the bigger picture. The compound effect of these small actions is what creates lasting transformation. You might not notice it every day, but when you look back after weeks, months, or years, the progress becomes undeniable. It's easy to get discouraged when success doesn't come quickly or dramatically, but the beauty of small steps is that they add up without you even realizing it. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. So instead of waiting for big moments of progress, celebrate the small wins along the way. Those are the moments that truly shape your journey. Your worth is not defined by your work. In a society that often equates success With identity, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that your value comes from what you do or how much you accomplish. The truth is, your worth is intrinsic and cannot be measured by your job title, salary, or achievements. Work is important, and the passion you bring to it can be fulfilling, but it does not define who you are as a person. You are so much more than your career or your productivity. When you tie your self-worth to your work, you set yourself up for disappointment, burnout, and feelings of inadequacy. Success at work may come and go, and external recognition may not always be given, but your worth remains constant. It's found in your character, your kindness, your integrity, and the love you give and receive. These are the things that truly define you, not the number of hours you put in or the accolades you collect. Remember, your value is not determined by what you do, but by who you are. Work is a part of your life, but it is not your whole life. It's crucial to separate your identity from your professional accomplishments and recognize that your true worth lies in the essence of who you are. You are enough, just as you are, with or without the titles and recognition. Invest in relationships that matter. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to spread yourself thin, trying to maintain countless superficial relationships. But the truth is, not every connection deserves your time and energy. True fulfillment comes from investing in relationships that truly matter, those that nurture you, challenge you, and lift you up. These are the relationships that bring out the best in you, that offer support in times of need, and that celebrate your victories as if they were their own. Relationships take work, and not all of them will be easy, but the ones that matter are worth the effort. They are built on trust, mutual respect, and genuine care. They offer a sense of belonging, security, and understanding. It's these relationships that provide the foundation for growth, comfort, and emotional resilience. By focusing on the people who truly matter, you create a circle that encourages you to thrive, not just survive. It's important to recognize that the quality of your relationships is far more valuable than the quantity. You don't need hundreds of acquaintances. You need a few people who understand you, support your dreams, and stand by you through thick and thin. By investing in these relationships, whether with family, friends, or romantic partners, you create a network that sustains you, empowers you, and ultimately enriches your life. Time is limited, so spend it with those who truly make it worth living. Be open to constructive criticism. Receiving feedback, especially when it's not entirely positive, can sting. It's natural to feel defensive, to want to protect your ego, or to shut down when someone points out areas for improvement. But the truth is, constructive criticism is one of the most valuable tools for growth. It's a mirror held up to your actions, showing you where you can improve and how you can become better. Instead of seeing it as a personal attack, view it as an opportunity to learn, to evolve, and to fine-tune your skills. When you embrace constructive criticism, you shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. You stop viewing feedback as a reflection of your inadequacy and start seeing it as a roadmap to your potential. Every piece of advice, no matter how tough to hear, has the power to unlock new levels of self-awareness and development. Being open to criticism doesn't mean accepting everything blindly. It means being receptive to perspectives that can help you improve. It means listening, reflecting, and using the feedback to make informed decisions. The people who give you constructive criticism are often those who want to see you succeed, so trust that their input, though difficult at times, is meant to help you grow. By welcoming feedback and embracing the discomfort it may bring, you are not only improving your skills and decisions, but also showing emotional maturity and a commitment to personal growth. It's through criticism that we sharpen ourselves. Don't let your circumstances define you. It's easy to believe that your current situation is the measure of who you are, but your circumstances are not your identity. Whether you're facing financial struggles, a difficult relationship, or career setbacks. It's crucial to understand that these external factors do not define your worth or potential. Circumstances are temporary and often beyond your control, but how you respond to them speaks volumes about who you are and who you're becoming. Too many people allow their present struggles to dictate their future, but this mindset can trap you in a cycle of helplessness. When you define yourself by your circumstances, you limit your ability to grow beyond them. You start to see yourself as a victim of your environment, unable to break free from what you're experiencing right now. But the truth is, who you are is shaped by your mindset, your actions, and your decisions, not by what's happening around you. Your circumstances might influence you, but they do not have the power to define your worth or dictate your potential. You are not your job title, your bank balance, or your past mistakes. You are the person who decides how to move forward, who chooses to rise above adversity, and who can build a future on your terms. The key is to look at your circumstances as challenges to overcome, not as a definition of your identity. Don't let today's struggles limit tomorrow's possibilities. Your power lies in how you respond and rise above them. Learn to adapt to changes. Change is one of the few constants in life, yet it's often met with resistance, fear, or frustration. We crave stability and predictability, but the truth is that life is fluid, and adaptability is a skill that can transform how you experience the world. Whether it's a shift in your career, a change in relationships, or unexpected life circumstances, the ability to adapt allows you to navigate the challenges and embrace the opportunities that come with change. Adapting to change doesn't mean simply accepting it. It means actively choosing to evolve with it. It's about shifting your mindset from resistance to opportunity, understanding that every change, even the difficult ones, carries lessons and growth. Instead of fearing what's unknown, you learn to trust that each new phase is a chance for reinvention, a doorway to new possibilities. When you embrace change, you stop being controlled by uncertainty and begin to take charge of how you respond to it. Adaptability is about flexibility, resilience, and maintaining your inner peace even when the external world seems in flux. It's about knowing that change doesn't have to be a threat. It can be a catalyst for growth, creativity, and new beginnings. The more you practice adapting, the more you develop a sense of trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Life may be unpredictable, but your ability to adapt is what will help you thrive through every twist and turn. Life is too short to hold grudges. Holding on to grudges is like carrying a heavy, invisible weight around with you everywhere you go. It consumes your energy, clouds your judgment, and drains your peace. The truth is, life is far too short to let past hurts control your present and future. When you hold on to anger and resentment, you allow others to occupy space in your mind and heart long after the moment has passed. Those who have wronged you may have already moved on, but you're left holding the emotional baggage. Forgiveness isn't about excusing the behavior or forgetting the wrong done to you. It's about freeing yourself from the grip of resentment. Letting go of grudges doesn't mean you have to forget, but it does mean you choose to no longer let the negativity from the past dictate how you live today. By choosing to forgive, you release yourself from the cycle of hurt, anger, and bitterness. You give yourself the freedom to heal, to move forward, and to embrace the present moment with a lighter heart. The real power lies in your ability to let go and prioritize your own peace and happiness. Life is fleeting, and holding grudges only steals precious time and energy that could be used to create positive, meaningful experiences. When you forgive and release grudges, you open the door to greater joy, freedom, and emotional liberation. Don't let past wrongs rob you of your future. Choose peace, choose forgiveness, and choose to live fully. Trust that everything happens for a reason. Life often unfolds in ways that seem random, chaotic, or even unfair. There are moments when everything feels out of your control, when you can't make sense of the pain, the loss, or the setbacks you're facing. In those times, it's easy to question why things are happening the way they are, to wonder what purpose there could be in the hardship. But what if there is a reason behind every twist and turn, a greater plan at work that you can't yet see? Trusting that everything happens for a reason doesn't mean that everything is easy or fair. It means having faith that each experience, good or bad, is part of your journey, shaping you into who you are meant to be. Sometimes the reasons behind life's events aren't immediately clear, and it's only with time, reflection, and growth that you begin to understand why things happen the way they did. The difficult moments often carry the lessons that transform us, pushing us to evolve, become stronger, and discover parts of ourselves we didn't know existed. When you trust that everything happens for a reason, you release the need for control. You allow yourself to flow with life's changes, knowing that each setback, challenge, or detour is leading you somewhere important. The tough times are just as valuable as the triumphs, and in the end, they may turn out to be the very experiences that guide you to your greatest breakthroughs. So, trust the process. Every twist, turn, and delay has its purpose. You don't need to have everything figured out. In a world that constantly pressures us to have a clear plan, to know exactly where we're headed, and to be certain of every step we take, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by uncertainty. But the truth is, no one has it all figured out. Life is a journey of discovery, full of unexpected twists, turns, and opportunities that you can't always predict or plan for. The beauty of life lies in the mystery, in not knowing exactly what's around the corner. There is a sense of freedom in embracing uncertainty. When you let go of the need for all the answers, you free yourself from the anxiety and pressure of getting it right from the start. Instead of focusing on having everything mapped out, focus on the steps you're taking in the moment and trust that clarity will come with experience and time. It's okay to not have all the answers right now. It's okay to take things one day at a time and adjust as you go. The constant quest for certainty can stifle growth and create unnecessary stress. Sometimes the best way forward is simply to keep moving, to learn, and to evolve as you go. You don't need to have everything figured out. What matters is that you're willing to grow, adapt, and take action, even if you don't have a complete roadmap. Life will unfold as you continue to learn, explore, and embrace the unknown. Listen more than you speak. In a world filled with noise, where everyone is eager to share their opinions, the art of truly listening is often overlooked. But listening, not just hearing, is one of the most powerful tools for connection, understanding, and personal growth. When you listen more than you speak, you open yourself to learning from others, to gaining insights that might otherwise be missed, and to forming deeper, more meaningful relationships. Listening goes beyond simply waiting for your turn to talk. It's about being fully present in the moment, giving your attention to the speaker, and absorbing not just their words, but their emotions, body language, and intentions. It's in this space of active listening that trust is built, where others feel valued and where real understanding takes place. The more you listen, the more you can respond thoughtfully, with empathy and clarity, creating conversations that are enriching for both parties. By listening more than you speak, you also give yourself the opportunity to reflect before responding, allowing you to form responses that are more intentional and impactful. Listening helps you avoid misunderstandings and prevents rash reactions. It allows you to learn, grow, and build connections that are based on mutual respect and understanding. So, when in doubt, listen more. In the silence of listening, you'll discover wisdom, patience, and connection that will serve you far better than words ever could. Don't try to control everything. The need to control every aspect of life often comes from a place of fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, or fear of being vulnerable. It's tempting to want to manage every detail, to make sure that everything goes according to your plan. But the truth is, life is unpredictable. No matter how hard you try to control things, there will always be elements beyond your reach. And when you hold on too tightly, you risk missing the beauty of what's unfolding naturally. Trying to control everything only leads to frustration and stress. The more you try to manipulate outcomes, the more you expend energy on things that you can't influence. It also keeps you from fully experiencing the present moment. When you surrender the need for control, you allow space for flow, for spontaneity, and for growth. You begin to trust that things will unfold in their own time and in their own way, even if it's not exactly as you planned. Letting go of control isn't about giving up. It's about acceptance. It's about embracing uncertainty and learning to adapt. You can control your actions, your attitude, and your responses, but the external world will always have its own rhythm. By releasing the need to control everything, you invite peace, freedom, and the ability to move through life with less resistance and more ease. Let go, trust the process, and watch how life can unfold in surprising and beautiful ways. Know when to fight and when to let go. Life often presents us with moments where we feel compelled to stand our ground, to defend our beliefs, or to fight for something that feels crucial to us. But not every battle is worth fighting, and not every situation deserves your energy or emotional investment. Knowing when to fight and when to let go is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. It's about discerning which struggles are aligned with your values and which are distractions that ultimately drain you. Fighting for what matters, whether it's your integrity, your dreams, or your boundaries, is essential. These are the battles that push you forward, that help you grow, and that shape your life in meaningful ways. But not every fight is worth your time or emotional energy. Sometimes, the best decision you can make is to let go, whether it's of an unhealthy relationship, a job that no longer serves you, or a dream that no longer resonates with your purpose. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means freeing yourself to make room for something better, something that aligns with who you are becoming. The key is knowing the difference between the battles worth fighting and those that will only weigh you down. Choose your battles wisely, and don't be afraid to walk away from things that no longer serve your peace, your happiness, or your growth. There is strength in knowing when to fight, and even more strength in knowing when to let go. Trust yourself to make the right choice for your life. Failure isn't the end. It's an opportunity to start again. Failure often feels like a final verdict, a loud, crushing statement that you've fallen short. It can sting, leaving you with feelings of doubt and disappointment. But what if failure isn't the end? What if instead it's the very thing that propels you forward, offering a chance to start anew, wiser and stronger than before? Every failure carries with it a lesson, a chance to reassess, regroup, and approach the challenge with a better understanding of what works and what doesn't. The truth is, failure is not something to fear. It's an inevitable part of the process. The most successful people are often those who have failed the most, simply because they understood that failure is not a permanent state. It's an opportunity to learn, adapt, and try again. When you fail, you are given a moment to reflect, to adjust your strategy, and to rebuild with newfound insight. Rather than seeing failure as a defeat, you can choose to see it as a powerful stepping stone toward success. Every setback is an invitation to rise, to start over with greater determination, and to refine your approach. Failure doesn't mark the end of your journey. It's part of the journey itself. The key is to keep moving forward, knowing that each failure brings you closer to your ultimate goal. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about embracing it as a necessary part of growth. Don't let other people's negativity affect you. Negativity is contagious, and it's all too easy to let the opinions, complaints, or moods of others seep into your own mindset. When someone around you is constantly complaining, criticizing, or projecting pessimism, it can be hard to maintain your own sense of peace and positivity, but allowing their negativity to affect you gives them power over your emotions and your peace of mind. The truth is, you are in control of how you respond. When you let others' negativity affect you, you let their energy dictate how you feel, think, and act. It can drain your motivation, distort your perspective, and create unnecessary stress. But when you decide not to absorb that negativity, you reclaim your power. You learn to recognize when others are projecting their fears, insecurities, or frustrations onto you, and you choose not to take it personally. By doing so, you protect your own mental and emotional space, allowing yourself to remain centered and focused on what truly matters to you. Remember, you cannot control how others act, but you can control how you react. Stay true to your own positivity and values. You don't have to fix or change the negativity around you, but you can choose not to let it define your day or influence your peace. By letting go of other people's negativity, you create the space for your own happiness and growth. Let them be who they are, but don't let them take you off your path. Live in alignment with your truth. Living in alignment with your truth is about embracing who you truly are and making choices that reflect your authentic self. It's about knowing your values, your passions, and your purpose, and allowing these to guide your actions, decisions, and relationships. When you live in alignment with your truth, you stop pretending to be someone you're not, and you begin to embrace the raw, unfiltered version of yourself. Too often, we get caught up in external expectations, society standards, family pressures, or the opinions of others, and lose sight of our own path. This disconnect between who we are and how we live can lead to feelings of emptiness, frustration, and a constant sense of being off course. But when you live in alignment with your truth, everything begins to feel more meaningful. You stop chasing things for the sake of approval or validation, and instead, you pursue what truly brings you joy, fulfillment, and peace. Aligning with your truth isn't always easy. It requires courage to be vulnerable, to set boundaries, and to make decisions that may not be understood by others. But the rewards are immeasurable. You feel a deeper sense of self-respect, inner peace, and purpose. Your relationships become more genuine because you are no longer pretending to be someone you're not. When you live authentically, you attract what's meant for you and release what no longer serves your growth. Your truth becomes the compass that leads you toward a life that is uniquely yours, full of meaning and aligned with your deepest desires. Practice patience with your own growth. In a world that rewards instant results, it's easy to feel frustrated when progress feels slow. We live in a time of quick fixes and immediate gratification, but growth doesn't work that way. Personal growth is a slow burn, a journey that requires time, effort, and a deep understanding that real change doesn't happen overnight. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results, but true growth takes time, and each small step forward counts. Being patient with your own growth means accepting that you are constantly evolving and that transformation happens in stages. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, and times when you question whether you're moving in the right direction. But those are the moments that test your resilience and commitment. The key is not to rush the process or measure yourself against others. Growth isn't linear, and it's not always visible to the naked eye. It's happening beneath the surface, in the quiet moments, in the lessons learned, and in the perseverance shown. When you practice patience, you give yourself permission to take your time, to make mistakes, and to learn from them without judgment. Every step, no matter how small, is progress. Trust that in time, the person you are becoming will reflect all the effort and patience you've invested. Growth may take longer than you expect, but it's always worth the wait. Keep going, trust yourself, and allow the process to unfold at its own pace. Be mindful of your energy. Protect it. Your energy is one of the most valuable resources you possess. It fuels everything you do, your thoughts, actions, emotions, and even your relationships. Yet, it's easy to overlook just how much your energy is being drained by the people, environments, and activities around you. You may not realize it, but every interaction, every situation, and every decision either builds or depletes your energy. When you constantly give without replenishing, you risk burning out and losing touch with your true self. Being mindful of your energy means being selective about where you invest it. Protecting your energy isn't about avoiding challenges or shutting yourself off from the world. It's about creating boundaries that allow you to preserve your inner peace and focus. It's about recognizing when something or someone is draining you and learning to say no when necessary. Whether it's a toxic relationship, an unhealthy work environment, or negative self-talk, it's vital to recognize the signs of depletion and take steps to safeguard your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. When you protect your energy, you give yourself the space to grow, thrive, and be the best version of yourself. It allows you to show up fully in the areas of life that matter most, your passions, your relationships, and your personal goals. By being mindful of where your energy goes, you ensure that it is being used to empower you, not exhaust you. Guard your energy fiercely. It's the fuel that keeps you going. Your mistakes do not define your future. Mistakes are an inevitable part of life, yet so many of us allow them to define who we are and where we're headed. A single misstep, a wrong decision, or a moment of failure can feel like a permanent mark on our journey, causing us to doubt our worth or our potential. But the truth is, mistakes are not a reflection of your future. They're simply lessons that shape your growth and understanding. Your mistakes do not determine the path you'll walk in the future unless you allow them to. They are part of the process, not the destination. The way you respond to your mistakes, how you learn from them, and how you move forward is what truly matters. Every great success story is filled with failures. What sets those who succeed apart is their ability to keep going despite setbacks. Mistakes don't define you. Your ability to rise from them does. It's in how you bounce back, how you apply what you've learned, and how you keep progressing toward your goals that shapes your future. No mistake is so great that it should derail you permanently. Each one is an opportunity to rebuild, refocus, and become stronger. Your future is not dictated by past mistakes. It's shaped by the decisions you make today and the courage you have to keep moving forward. Trust that things will work out in the end. Life is unpredictable, often throwing us into situations that feel overwhelming, uncertain, or downright impossible to navigate. In these moments, it's easy to lose faith, to wonder how things will ever turn around or if they will at all. But trust, especially in the face of adversity, is one of the most powerful tools you can have. Trust that even when things don't make sense, they are unfolding in a way that will lead to growth, clarity, and eventually resolution. When you trust that things will work out, you release the need to control every outcome, and instead, you allow space for life to surprise you with solutions you didn't expect. The journey may not always be linear, and the timing might not align with your expectations, but trust in the process allows you to stay grounded even in the midst of chaos. It's about surrendering to the idea that you are exactly where you need to be and that the universe is working in your favor, whether you can see it or not. Trust doesn't mean passivity. It means taking one step at a time, doing your best, and having faith that the pieces will fall into place. When you trust that things will work out in the end, you stop fighting against the current and start flowing with it, embracing each twist and turn along the way. The beauty of life is that even in its most difficult moments, there's always a lesson to be learned, a strength to be discovered, and an outcome that ultimately serves your growth. Keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps. In the face of challenges, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially when the distance between where you are and where you want to be seems vast. The weight of your goals, the obstacles, or even the fear of failure can make each step feel insurmountable. But here's the secret. Progress doesn't always have to be big or bold. It's the small, consistent steps forward that build momentum, and over time, they lead you closer to your destination. When you keep moving forward, even in tiny increments, you're telling yourself that you haven't given up. Every small step is a victory in itself, a testament to your resilience and determination. It's easy to feel like you're not making progress when the results don't come quickly or dramatically. But the truth is, every effort, every action, no matter how minor, is a part of your journey. These steps accumulate, and one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come. Life can feel like a marathon, and sometimes you may not be running at full speed, but as long as you keep moving, you're moving forward. It's the act of persistence that matters most. Don't get discouraged if things feel slow. Celebrate the small wins and trust that each step is leading you to a better, stronger version of yourself. Keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps. Progress is progress. Don't fear being alone. Being alone often carries a negative stigma. It's associated with loneliness, emptiness, or failure, as though solitude is something to avoid at all costs. But what if being alone is the very thing that allows you to rediscover yourself? What if in those moments of solitude you find your truest self, free from the influence of others' expectations or opinions? The truth is, being alone doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's in those quiet moments that you can truly listen to your own thoughts, your desires, and your dreams. Alone is not the same as lonely. Being alone gives you the space to grow in ways that being surrounded by others never can. It allows you to face your fears, your insecurities, and your past without distractions. It's in solitude that you begin to build a stronger relationship with yourself, learning to love, accept, and understand who you truly are. It's only when you are comfortable in your own company that you can fully embrace the relationships around you, because you are no longer dependent on others for validation. The pressure to constantly be with others, to avoid being alone, can make you forget the beauty of your own presence. When you learn to embrace being alone, you become empowered. You learn that your worth doesn't depend on the company you keep, but on the strength and peace you find within yourself. Learn to forgive, especially yourself. Forgiveness is often seen as something you extend to others, but the most difficult form of forgiveness is the one you give to yourself. We all make mistakes, sometimes the weight of which can feel unbearable. The guilt, shame, or regret can haunt you, making it hard to move forward, but holding on to self-blame only traps you in the past, and by doing so, you deny yourself the chance to heal and grow. The truth is, you are human, and part of being human is making mistakes. It's how you learn, evolve, and shape your future. Learning to forgive yourself doesn't mean condoning your actions or dismissing the pain caused. It means accepting that you are allowed to be imperfect and that your mistakes don't define who you are as a person. Forgiving yourself is an act of self-compassion. It's about releasing the burden of guilt so that you can free yourself from the past and create space for a better future. By forgiving yourself, you reclaim your power, letting go of the toxic weight that keeps you stuck. When you forgive yourself, you embrace your humanity and recognize that you are worthy of love and peace despite your flaws. It's not an easy process, but it's a necessary one. The moment you choose to release the past, you step into a future filled with possibility and growth. The healing begins when you finally decide to let go. Trust the timing of your life. In a world that constantly emphasizes speed and instant results, it's easy to get frustrated when things don't happen according to your timeline. You may find yourself looking at others who seem to have it all together, wondering why your dreams haven't come true yet, or why you're not where you thought you'd be. But what if the timing of your life isn't a mistake? What if everything is unfolding exactly as it should, at the right pace, in the right moment? Trusting the timing of your life means surrendering the need for control over every outcome. It's about having faith that the right opportunities will come when you're ready for them, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Each setback, delay, or unexpected change is part of a larger picture, one that you may not fully see yet. Sometimes the delays are there to teach you important lessons, to build the strength you need, or to ensure that the right path unfolds at the right time. The beauty of trusting the timing of your life is that it frees you from the constant pressure to hurry up and reach your destination. It allows you to be more present, to enjoy the journey, and to recognize that every phase of your life has its purpose. Even when things seem uncertain, trust that everything is happening for a reason. Life has its own rhythm, and when you align with it, everything begins to fall into place. Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. We live in a society that often prioritizes physical health, exercise, diet, sleep, while mental well-being tends to take a back seat. However, the truth is you cannot have one without the other. Mental health isn't just the absence of illness. It's about your emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how you think, feel, and act. If your mind is struggling, it's impossible to be truly healthy, no matter how physically fit you are. Ignoring mental health can be as dangerous as neglecting physical health. It can lead to feelings of overwhelm, depression, anxiety, and stress, all of which have far-reaching effects on every part of your life. Just as you would treat a physical injury by resting and seeking help, your mind needs attention, care, and nurturing. It's crucial to recognize the signs of emotional distress, whether it's persistent sadness, irritability, or a lack of motivation, and take steps to address them before they become more deeply ingrained. Taking care of your mental health isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's about creating habits of self-compassion, setting boundaries, seeking support when needed, and allowing yourself to feel and process emotions without judgment. Your mind deserves the same level of attention and care as your body. When both are in balance, you'll find yourself healthier, happier, and more capable of handling life's challenges. Be mindful of the energy you put out. Energy is contagious, and it has a profound impact on the world around you. Every interaction, every word, every action carries an energy that influences not only how others perceive you, but also how you perceive yourself. Whether you're aware of it or not, the energy you project sets the tone for your relationships, your opportunities, and your experiences. Positive energy attracts positivity, while negative energy breeds negativity. This means that your emotional state and mindset become a powerful force in shaping your life. When you focus on sending out kindness, calm, and positivity, you create an environment where growth and connection can thrive. Others are drawn to your light, and even in challenging situations, your energy can shift the atmosphere, inspiring change and fostering understanding. On the other hand, if you project anger, frustration, or pessimism, it can create walls, limit opportunities, and drain your own vitality. Your energy doesn't just affect others, it reflects how you feel about yourself. When you are aligned with a positive, balanced energy, it shows that you respect yourself, trust your abilities, and believe in your potential. Being mindful of this energy means you're choosing to live intentionally, making sure that the energy you put out into the world is something that aligns with who you want to be. The more conscious you become of the energy you project, the more control you have over the life you create. It's okay to not have everything figured out. In a world that glorifies certainty and having all the answers, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the pressure to have your life completely planned and figured out. We often think that by a certain age or stage, we should have everything neatly organized, our career, relationships, goals, and even our personal identity. But the reality is, no one truly has it all figured out. Life is fluid, unpredictable, and full of constant change. The beauty lies in embracing the uncertainty, knowing that it's okay to not have everything mapped out. Not having everything figured out allows you the freedom to explore, to experiment, and to grow. It's in the unknown that you discover new passions, new paths, and new versions of yourself. The process of figuring things out isn't linear. It's messy, filled with trial and error, but it's through that mess that you learn what works and what doesn't. Every moment of uncertainty is a step forward in shaping the person you are becoming. The fear of not having it all figured out can paralyze you, but when you release that pressure, you open yourself to new possibilities. You give yourself permission to live with curiosity, to change your mind, and to let life unfold naturally. It's okay to not have the answers right now. Sometimes it's the journey of figuring it out that is the most rewarding part. Trust the people who show up for you. In life, there are countless people who come and go, but the ones who truly matter are those who show up when you need them the most. These are the people who don't just offer words of comfort when things are good, but who stand by you during your hardest moments without hesitation or expectation. Their loyalty isn't contingent on circumstances. They show up simply because they care and because they believe in you. These are the relationships that prove their worth through actions, not promises. Trusting the people who show up for you means recognizing the value of their presence. Even when it's not convenient for them, they are the ones who prove their commitment with their time, energy, and support, not just when it's easy, but when you're vulnerable or struggling. In a world where many people may disappear when things get tough, those who remain should never be taken for granted. They offer something priceless, the reassurance that you are not alone, that you have a solid foundation of love and support. Trusting these people is an act of vulnerability and faith. It's about allowing yourself to be seen, to rely on others, and to build deeper connections. When you trust those who show up for you, you cultivate a bond that goes beyond superficial interactions. You create lasting relationships that help you navigate life's toughest challenges, knowing you have people who will be there through it all. Live in the present moment. It's easy to get lost in the past, replaying old mistakes or holding on to regrets, or to focus endlessly on the future, filled with worry about what might go wrong or how things will unfold. But in doing so, you miss the richness of what is happening right now. The present moment is all you truly have. It's where life happens, where connections are made, where experiences are felt. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. The only moment that's real is the one you're living right now. Living in the present moment doesn't mean ignoring your responsibilities or pretending that the past and future don't matter. It means bringing your full attention to the here and now, appreciating the small things, and making the most of what you can control. When you focus on the present, you begin to notice the beauty around you, the warmth of the sun, the sound of laughter, the simple act of breathing. You find gratitude in the ordinary, and in doing so, you cultivate a sense of peace. When your mind is constantly wandering to what's already happened or what's yet to come, you miss out on the richness of life unfolding in real time. By living in the present, you free yourself from unnecessary anxiety and regret. It allows you to be fully engaged with life, to make meaningful memories, and to truly savor the experiences that shape who you are. Life happens in the present. Don't let it pass you by. Never stop learning. Learning is not just an activity, it's a way of life. The moment you stop seeking knowledge, you stop growing. The world around you is constantly changing, and in order to thrive, you must evolve alongside it. Whether through formal education, self-study, or simply engaging with different perspectives, learning keeps your mind sharp, your skills relevant, and your life rich with possibilities. The beauty of learning is that it doesn't have to happen in a classroom. It happens in every conversation, in every experience, and in every challenge you face. Every failure offers a lesson. Every person you meet has something to teach, and every book you read opens new doors to understanding. The more you learn, the more you realize how much there is still to discover. It's this never-ending curiosity that fuels progress, not just in your career or personal growth, but in the way you see the world. When you stop learning, you become stagnant. Your ability to adapt to new situations diminishes and you begin to feel disconnected from the world around you. But when you embrace learning as a lifelong pursuit, you remain open, flexible, and ready for whatever comes next. Knowledge is power, but wisdom comes from the application of that knowledge. Never stop learning, because every lesson you acquire adds depth to your life, making it more meaningful, more fulfilling, and more impactful. The journey of learning is the journey of life itself.